Dragon, I just want you to know that this is all in a chest on your back.
For fun.
I'm now streaming.
Hello, Twitch viewers. Please like and subscribe.
You know, I could still wear. I could technically wear that half plate.
You wouldn't get your barbarian's AC bonus.
I think that AC bonus is anything less than heavy armor.
I think it's anything above light, but I'll double check.
Half plate is heavy, I think, isn't it?
No, it's medium.
Let's
Let me look at
double check
unarmored
here.
defense.
What does a
So-
blade count for as armor?
While you are not wearing any armor.
Any armor, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, that's right. And I don't think anyone else wears medium armor other than ASO, right?
I wear heavy.
Do you? Okay.
Well, technically, right now I'm in light armor to max my dex. But
Well, how would that? Let's
I'm
see. So
proficient in heavy anyway.
how would half plate work for you?
When's our next chance for a feat?
6th level, I believe, isn't it? Or is it 8th?
8th. It's every 4.
That's right.
What is heavy armor master? That lets you
I'm gonna put up the level table real quick
Thank you.
as well.
So half plate is 15 with a max 2 dex bonus.
Although the good part is a lot of this can be found in the compendium.
So your dex bonus would have, if your dex bonus is 5 or higher, studded leather or light armor is still going to be better for you. But if your bonus is 4 or less, then half plate would technically be better.
You take a -10 to movement speed, right? But you still get your dex bonus.
Negative. The movement speed is heavy armor that does that. In 3.5 and Pathfinder, and I think 4th ed. I don't know about 5th ed.
What's that? Sorry.
Movement speed reduction.
Medium armor is max dex bonus +2.
It doesn't say anything about movement.
Yeah, then movement speed is more of a factor of weight in this than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the heavy armor has a strength requirement to wear it, which makes perfect sense.
I'm gonna also find and put up the alternative encumbrance rules that I'm using. And while I'm doing that, you guys can talk more about what your plans are specifically here. I've changed the map of Marshport a bit because the one I had was just too big. The city was not that big.
Right.
This is a little more like the actual scale.
That's fair. Alternatively, we could take over this port. That might be a little more difficult.
Through which means violence?
Huh?
Through which means violence?
Well, I mean, it's a pretty violent town. That's kind of why we're here.
The compendium doesn't say -10, but it does say that medium armor impairs movement more, whatever that means.
Probably means that you get like disadvantages against stealth and stuff like that.
That's true, you do.
However, half plate is worth a pretty penny if you just decided you wanted to hold on to it. Half plate sells for $750, which means we'd probably get a third of that, a half of it.
Today I learned that I don't know how to spell encumbrance. I could have sworn there was an E in there.
Nope. Surprise. English sucks.
Income branch. And I just made everyone uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
Friend, for the Jackpack game we played last night, nothing can ever make me uncomfortable again.
Dick is stored in the balls.
Next time we do that, I'll send out a call for y'all as well. It's kind of a last minute thing, so I didn't,
We have some good shirts.
Yeah. So there's the variant encumbrance rules.
I'm just gonna find where the shirts are. And the references of the rules. And the journal.
Yeah, where the character sheets are, basically.
Aha!
Aha!
Aha! Wow, Luigi.
Not good.
Today's
Yeah, I'm
episode,
sort of stuck
campaign
in
maintenance.
light armor until we can get something that's got a
Gotcha.
magical property that lets me keep my dex bonus. So I have a 16 in dex.
Do you? Well, that's still technically a +3 to Dex. So you would only be losing. You're wearing studded leather right now, yeah.
Yeah.
So you would only need a chain shirt or higher to match or be better, even with the Dex being limited. Does that make
It's
sense?
true, but then it hurts my skills.
Not all of them. For example, breastplate doesn't. Breastplate's probably your best bet if we can get a hold of one, because it doesn't give you a disadvantage to stealth. It's expensive though. That's the catch.
Aren't they always expensive?
Depends on the breast.
Fryer, did you get my message?
Like mine would be flat,
No,
so it'd
sorry.
be good.
I'm doing 50 different things here, so I did not
You're fine.
yet see the thing.
What the hell is that? I wish I had a loud keyboard. Makes everything sound fancy.
All right.
Oops. I didn't mean to send that.
Oh God, what?
He just accidentally emailed the government.
Sure you didn't. No, check Discord.
Oh, I didn't see
Uh,
it.
Oh,
I
the
deleted
ass
that.
thing. Yeah, that's why I commented. But what the hell
Oh, you
is that?
deleted it already?
No,
That's from,
I was doing the loud keyboard, and it went into a different Discord.
Oh, I
That'll
didn't
teach
see
you.
it.
Oh shit.
It's when you use your cat.
And I also answered your question.
Yeah,
There.
I saw that. I've already passed it along. Oh my God, what the fuck is... No! Jeff, you're grounded. To the brig with you. We need to... If that ship doesn't have a brig, I'm making one.
the grit.
Zordon
brig
is a...
is-
Oh my God!
The brig is tied to the bottom of the boat.
Right.
So,
Actually, fun fact: Have you ever heard of a? I can't think of what it's called, but it's quite literally a shark cage. Back in the day.
I've heard of shark cages.
Bathysphere?
It's quite literally a brig that hangs over the side of the ship that you can periodically dunk in the water to go fishing with, sort of. It was not a very common practice, and in fact, I may have just invented it. I think, but I'm kind of digging the idea now. I've heard about it like once or twice before, but I don't remember where, and it sounds a little far-fetched. But you know what? I still like the idea.
When he said fisher of men, that was not what he meant.
If you want more uncomfortable images, go to this Twitter.
I'm really quite good, actually.
This is what D&D is like, people.
Like, how
30 minutes of
about
arguing for 30 minutes of arguing and being distracted for 10 minutes of gameplay.
I think I have the most viewers I've ever had right now.
How many do you have?
3.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Yeah.
Okay, should we do things?
First,
No.
let me tell you a little bit about Marshport as you guys are wandering along.
Have we docked technically?
Yes.
Mhm.
And
We have made port.
as you are roping up the ship to the dock, as you are securing your moorings, your mooring line, a group of 3 men in rather sea rotted clothing kind of come up and say, "It's 5 gold for the docking fee."
Show me your papers.
5 gold per what?
Per ship.
So I can stay docked here forever?
Don't.
It's just a docking
And
fee.
this is why
It's
he's
not a
the
staying
first
fee.
mate. Who are they addressing out of curiosity?
Just the group. They don't know who's in charge, so they're just kind of saying this while overlooking everyone getting the ship stowed
I'm
away.
probably still sitting back by the oar or back by the rudder. So I'm just gonna watch for the moment.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll give him the 5 gold pieces.
He takes a bite out of it, or tries to.
Breaks a tooth. Yeah,
Yes,
it's just
one
the
of his-
stuff.
One of his teeth does chip slightly and goes, "Yeah, all right." And wanders back, and you can see they had, you can see they had rusted daggers in their belts behind in the crook of their back.
I somehow don't think there's a docking fee.
That's fine. I'd rather avoid the confrontation.
It's okay. That was all just actually copper painted gold.
So we gave him copper, but it was still actually gold.
No, it's
So-
painted
hey, so
yellow.
go ahead and
With
deduct
gold
5
written
gold.
on it in chrome.
Actually, that makes sense with Aso being the first mate since he's the treasurer too. That actually fit pretty well.
Yeah.
So,
And as you come ashore, you find the city is a mix of the low to the ground, stone walled and thatched roofed sort of huts that make up most buildings in this, or most homes in this era. And there's quite a few of those kind of just built almost on top of each other in these square blocks of homes. But there's also big ancient stone structures carved and stacked out of blocks. Looks like where the leftovers of the ancient empire of Acheron. Specifically, this large gray blob here represents the temple, which is a massive rectangular structure in the middle of the city. And of course, the walls themselves are quite ancient and massive, wide, could withstand a strong siege.
when did we get a potion of flying?
Potion
I
of what?
remember
In the
that.
dungeon,
Huh.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was one of the wizards had it.
Yeah, there was some place we got like 3 potions.
I feel like we shouldn't try to hawk anything religious here, like that black iron triangle with the inverted Y. I feel like that might just cause drama.
I don't know. You might be able to sell the incense and other
Yeah, that stuff by all means, but I mean, like,
things with religious symbols on them. Yeah, probably not.
yeah,
you need
just
the
at
incense.
least until we feel it out.
If you want to, now I'm actually having to look at sheets to remember which skills are in 5e. I've been playing too many games.
Hey, what's the stats on that great cleaver? Is it one-handed or two-handed?
Two-handed.
Is it okay? And I
If-
don't imagine it's better than my giant slayer.
Probably not. No. Yeah.
Okay.
Or we definitely wouldn't have the bonuses. If someone wants to give me an investigation check, since you're talking about this religious emblem and you're, walking through the city,
Who has the highest
Not me.
investigation check? You
that is
said?
that is an intelligence-based skill.
I've got a 1.
Highest intelligence of the group is Will.
What's me?
Do an
You have the
investigation
highest.
check, please.
Yeah, you have the highest intelligence, so go ahead and give me an investigation roll. Gotta pull up my notes.
Does it work?
No, that's an
Yay.
intelligence
Oh, that's-
check. You were supposed to roll investigation.
Sorry, yes, investigation. We were just saying that it's intelligence-based. That's my fault.
Investigation. Yeah, I was gonna say
It's technically it's the same stats,
Unless he has it trained.
which he doesn't.
Okay.
Since I don't, do I keep the 18?
Sure, why not?
Yay!
Uh,
The nice today. Maybe we shouldn't ruin his plans for RP.
You can find out that this city, you could buy and sell anything or anyone. The temple itself is devoted to somebody.
I'll take the role. They're devoted to me.
Tim.
Trying to remember the name of this deity.
Tim the Sorcerer.
I feel like we need to get that scepter appraised before we just try to hawk it.
There's a lot of these that probably need to be appraised.
Yeah. Particularly the scepter, maybe the black bead.
Plus one short sword for sure.
Yeah.
Didn't Will appraise them?
No, he
Yes.
identified him.
You can identify the magic, but not appraise the value.
What
That
would an
is,
appraise check be? Wisdom or intelligence?
That would probably be an investigation skill. Again, let me double check the skills to make sure.
I'm not seeing anything else.
Yeah, that'd be investigation.
William,
What?
that'd be you.
Just another investigation skill or skill check.
Can we pay somebody maybe?
Yes,
Who like appraises
certainly could.
things for a living?
But this will give us a rough idea of what they're
Hmm.
worth.
I rolled.
So yes, sorry, I was looking something up. The temple is devoted to Njord, who is the god of sea and wind, and is one of two gods of the sea. And this is considered the good side of the sea, the one that brings fish and trade and good winds. The other god of the sea is the god of sea and storm.
They sound nice.
What kind of people are around?
He's
What
the
races?
good half, but it sounds like he's the boring half to me.
Well, we have a dragonborn.
I mean, other than us. I don't imagine I'm going to fit in most places.
I'm a human.
It depends on kind of where you're at. Where do you imagine you've gone first? Are you still at the docks, or have you made your way inland toward
I
the
imagine we've
town
probably
square?
slowly made our way inland towards what would be the market, since that's our initial concept, is try to offload some of this stuff before it gets stolen from us.
Yeah, most of the
Now, I'm not
traffic seems to
making
be
any
going
assumptions here.
seems to be going toward the town square, which is this large open area here. Tons of stalls and even some tents. This small gray block here is actually a massive statue of Njord. Looks like it's carved in the ancient days before Acheron abandoned the gods. And from here, you actually do see maybe upwards of a dozen and a half dragonborn mixed in with the crowd.
Chromatic or metallic?
All chromatic.
Mm.
Other than that, the population seems to be about, you would guess, half halfling.
Is it bad when you're prejudiced against your own kind?
Yeah.
These guys are assholes, though, okay? You don't understand.
Actually, I would say half halfling and gnome. Like, half short people.
Half short people, a couple really tall people.
Hmm. And the other half
So they're pretty
appears
easy
to be a
identify in the
mixture.
regular crowd.
Yeah, 50% halfling and gnome, 25% human, and the other 25% seems to be a good mix of elves, dwarves, and dragonborn. With a handful of tieflings scattered here and there. So with that 14 roll, you get a rough sense. You'll be able to tell if you're being utterly ripped off.
Fantastic. That's good enough for me.
Yeah, you now have enough of a baseline. Before, honestly, there's no way you could possibly have known. But now you have a good baseline.
What sort of authority is around? Are there guardsmen? Is it kind of like free base, or?
You notice that the square is kind of protected by a number of different armed groups, each wearing sashes of a different color.
Any of them that are wearing anything that would symbolize that they work for the actual town?
Not really.
All right, fuck it.
You do know that Sumbria, this land that you're in now, is famous for it having no kings,
Gotcha.
and that many places are ruled just by their people.
Who has the highest charisma out of us?
Not me.
Checking charisma now.
Hmm.
15.
I've got a 15 as well. Jiff? I want to say Asos is like an 8.
Yep.
Jiff, you're muted.
He said he'd BRB.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
Yeah.
Can you check for us, Fryer?
Rockdy has a -1 charisma.
So the female and the really big dragon are the two at the highest charisma.
The female? What are you bringing?
No, William's character is
Sure.
the only female in the group. So, I guess I'll just approach the nearest group. Now,
have
in the
a problem-
nearest group of armed soldiers, not any particular banner of any sort or whatever, and just ask them where one
just saying
might be
it's-
able to. Good.
It's kind of funny just to use the female because female is usually used when describing a group, and woman is usually used when describing a person.
No.
I noticed that's propping up a lot lately. People say female. It's like
I grew up saying female.
the grammar man. I don't know. It's pet peeve. Pet peeve. Don't ignore me. So you approach the nearest armed group and you ask, what now?
Quite simply, where might one go to get certain items appraised?
First roll a d6.
A D6.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
WB. Okay, the group
Nice
you
6.
approach are wearing red sashes.
Okay.
And the one who seems to be in charge, or at least the one the others are clustered about, looks up and is picking his teeth with a knife. And says, "Are you lost?"
Just new to the area. Looking for an appraiser.
Because I know a few shops. See those tents over there? He points to a group of tents. They all seem to have red strips of material dangling from their awnings.
Right.
Because they'll treat you right. You see those tents over there? And it points to one with this sort of aquamarine color, this blue strips of cloth. Says they're all cheats and liars.
I look over there and I kind of look towards the group of guards wearing. I assume there's a group of guards wearing the same color sash,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll kind of make it obvious that I'm looking at that group, and then turn back to him and go, "Now, if I were to inquire them, would they tell me the same thing about yours?"
Oh, probably.
So, what reason do I have to believe you over them? I'm
Can I
willing
just-
to give your people a chance, but I'd like to have some inclination as to why I should deal with you as opposed to someone else.
Because if we see you dealing with someone else, we might just have to visit your ship in the night.
Oh, that's not a visit you want to be making, mate.
Because no matter where you shop, we're all going to notice.
Duly noted, and I appreciate your time. I'd probably toss him a copper out of my personal purse. Just if you're gonna take someone's time, at least pay him. Is my belief.
He kind of dodges out of the way and lets it fall behind him, and one of the others in the same sash just scrabbles after it.
Yeah, fair enough. And I kind of wave over my shoulder and let's go check out those tents that he was pointing to, guys.
Toss another coin.
Cause riots in the streets.
Let's keep on tossing him until he catches one.
Catches one to the face.
Give me a perception check. Ein.
Me specifically?
Uh-huh. You notice that there are 5 different groups of armed folks with sashes.
5 different sashes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Red, blue, green, yellow, and white, in case you were curious.
It's nice of them not to have any overlapping colors.
It's convenient, yes. Can you imagine a blue and an aquamarine? Oh, it'd be terrible.
Mm.
And they would all know the difference,
What
except
if you're
for
colorblind?
Yeah. Then you're screwed in this city.
Right.
And
I have an
there
idea,
are-
guys. Let's put them all in an arena and let them fight over our business. Which group seems to have the largest number of tents, or is it pretty evenly distributed?
Red seems to have the most tents by maybe 2. Like they just
it's-
barely beat out.
Pretty equivalent, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not too fond of the threat, but I do like the larger option. What do you guys think?
The only thing you do notice there is that there are fewer white tents, fewer tents with white strips. And they
Let's
all
go
seem to
white.
be manned
Is it
by
fairly
monks or
easy to-
nuns.
Oh, okay. Is it fairly easy to tell which group has the nicer wares?
Probably. No, with that perception check, I'd say yellow. Yellow has the nicer wares.
Well, what do you guys think?
What kind of
Should we
wares?
at least let's go to the red and at least get these appraised,
Sure.
since we've got a fairly decent idea of what they're worth. We can kind of feel them out. All right. So I imagine the couple of us that are carrying the massive rucksacks of shit are going to lead the way over to the red group, the red tents, and I don't even know how we would go about finding which one of them is the appraiser.
Well, much like in the real world, there's a universal symbol for pawn shop.
Ah, perfect. That'd be the one. I
Which is the
imagine it's a scale or something like that.
3 golden orbs kind of dangling from something, which actually was the
I don't want to hear about dangling orbs.
symbol for the Medici family, which were originally, in real life history, were pawnbrokers throughout Europe, and that became the universal symbol for pawn.
Didn't know that.
Hmm.
That's kind of cool. So
Less
would-
so in America, probably, but I imagine in a fantasy world it probably is scales, actually. But
So let's do this. We already know what the dragon hides are valued at. Let's have them appraise those first and see if they're bullshitting us. Because we already have a set value for those. Does that make sense, guys?
Well, whatever we do, we should appraise from one and sell to the other.
Well, we don't want to let them know we're doing that.
Yeah, but you can't exactly ask a man how much your fancy thing is worth and then sell it to him on the premise.
That's actually kind of what bartering is.
Let's feel them out before we make decisions on where we're shopping. Because I imagine we're probably going to go to a majority of the groups. But let's at least get these guys felt out.
so as you make your way up, he's doing the good old carnival barker routine.
Is it a humanoid? Or a human, I mean?
Halfling.
Halfling?
Standing up on a box, but standing over like a full-sized table and little tent, and saying, "Coin for your jewelry, coin for your old weapons."
What if we have old jewelry and relatively new weapons? Lightly used.
I'll give you relatively new coin.
I like this guy.
The name's Garens.
I'm sorry.
The name's Garens.
I'm mine. These are my friends.
Wait,
Genres.
What can I do for you today, gentlemen?
Oh, we happen to be in the market to relieve ourselves of some of our wares. And you happen to be recommended.
Yes. Don't take those threats too seriously now. They say that to everybody.
Oh,
They
trust
keep
me,
the
I don't
fighting
worry.
mostly with other sashes.
I don't worry too particularly much about threats. Regardless, here's what we have, and I'll list off a couple of brief items. Like we have some exotic hide, we have some small bits of jewelry, and we have some items in which you've likely not seen recently.
As well, I must admit, if you got magic on you, I'm probably not the man for you. Those
You think you
blue bastards are the ones who deal in magic mostly.
That's fair, and I appreciate your honesty.
But jewelry, hides,
This is
absolutely.
Pokemon Go.
I feel he's being pretty honest. I don't know what you guys feel, but I
Wait,
think we should at least have him appraise our hide and our jewelry.
Wait, where is it? Insight? Yeah, insight. I got wisdom. I'm not very smart.
can I make an attempt at insight too?
Yes, it will be at a higher DC.
Well,
Insight is intelligence based, is it not, or is it wisdom?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Fuck it. If nothing, we are consistent.
Lottery.
William, it's down to you.
I hope you get a 9.
I kind of do too.
That's why the DC is probably so high nobody will be able to get it.
Sure.
I'm very afraid to get a 9.
Roll a 9. And what the best part about it is we all have substantially different bonuses to this. Oh wow!
Hey,
Let's see.
that's our jackpot from getting 3 9s. Like the 7s.
No, unfortunately, kind of everybody's been eyeing up and down and whispering a bit, and like, you can't quite get a good sense of him.
That's fair.
He's
Thanks to
He's
the
definitely-
fact that you all failed.
yeah, he's definitely pumping up the bravado as well. You know, the shopkeeper sort of
He's a
attitude.
salesman.
So it's hard to see what his real intentions are.
3 of us put out thumbs up and 1 of us put thumbs down. We beat him up.
So yeah, I vote we at least have him look at the dragon hide and some of the jewelry. See what he's willing to offer.
Yeah, name an item, and I'll tell you what he offers.
Let's do the blue dragon hide first. We've got one that's good and one that's a little ragged. It was quote blue dragon hide and slightly shitty blue dragon hide. Your words.
I'm sorry.
That was somebody else's words for the record.
Yeah, those are not my words. Those were.
Wrote it down verbatim.
So for the blue dragon hide, he'll offer you 70.
Oof.
Which one?
The one in good
The
condition.
clean one.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not even 3/4 of the value.
How about 100?
Goes, that's I gotta make some profit off this too, you know.
I'll tell you what. You do that one for 100, and we'll throw this one to you for 70. So 170 for both of them.
It goes, it's, you know, I don't think I can sell this this kind of messed up hide here. People who look for dragon look for a perfect untouched dragon. I know it's hard to find, but
Yes,
that's
but
the
you
one
gotta
they're
keep
willing
in
to pay
mind.
top dollar for.
That second dragon hide is something that you're capable of opening up a second market to. People that couldn't normally afford it would be able to afford that.
So I don't know. Let me visit my expert.
I figured since
I was
that's
thinking
what
that
I'm
too.
attempting
Uh-huh.
to do.
Listen, I know a guy.
You know the guy who knows a cat.
Like, I'll tell you what. I'll give you 100 for the first one, 50 for the second.
Deal.
Deal.
You have yourself a deal, sir.
He spits in his hand, holds it out.
I'll shake it.
God,
After
someone else,
spitting in,
please.
I'll spit in my hand and shake it. I hope he feels a tingling sensation.
His hand comes away smoking. He goes, damn dragons.
I'll smile openly about it.
And he'll
the
fork
next
over the
pieces
coin
of-
right there.
The next
so
things that we have that he would supposedly be the best one for would be our jewelry, which is going to be probably that small black bead would count as jewelry unless it's magical, but I'm not sure. I kind of want to take that to the blue people.
that one is not. No, that's not magical.
Okay. So the bead, the ring, and the necklaces are the only jewelry that we have. Am I right, Aso?
12 gems.
We do have the gems. Yes, thank you. Let's do this one at a time so it's easier on Friar. Let's do the necklaces and the 'cause those are
Necklaces,
jade.
he'll give you 50 a pop.
I mean, I'm cool with that.
So I got some people who carved from jade. They could recarve this into something a little less blasphemous.
Aso,
Works for me.
Jeff,
Sure.
William.
Does he want to buy my spider?
He's not interested.
So yeah, let's
Come
sell
on,
him both of
draw
those.
spiders.
Let's sell him
Alright.
both of those at 50 a pop. He was willing to work with us on the first one. I think it's fair if we give him his offer on this one. Give and take,
Okay.
as it were.
And I hope you're keeping track of this, Asa,
He is. I'm watching.
because I'm
He's a
half
good
keeping
guy.
track of it.
Oh
So-
shit, we have platinum.
Two.
Yeah.
Wow.
We knew that at the beginning.
Technically, we have 42 platinum.
If you
Wow.
convert over, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
We also have the jade snake trinkets. We have 3 of those. Those would be roughly the same size as the necklaces.
Was that not what
right?
was being sold?
No, we
No.
were selling him jade necklaces. They're separate. The trinkets were just little like idols, based on what you had explained.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got the trinkets from the shrine that was on the first floor.
Oh, okay.
The one
yeah.
that I smashed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Or are those gonna? Would those be bigger than the necklaces?
yeah, they're probably like another inch tall, half-inch wide. Says those I could probably sell without having to redo them. 65.
Could you do 70?
Make it 75 a piece. We'll throw the gold chain in with it.
Cause I think I could only get about 70 before I start cutting into my own profit.
I'm fair with that.
I'm good with that.
So is that 70 per or 70 for 3?
70 per.
So
Okay.
it'd be 180.
No.
Sounds good to me.
Wait.
And does that include the gold chain, or was that just for the
Uh,
trinkets?
That was
just for the trinkets.
You said.
Okay, yeah.
3 times 70 is 100. Is 2.
Well, it's 210,
110.
but
Yeah.
he offered 65.
210, yeah, 210. Thank you, Jeff.
This is
We'll
not the most
lose
exciting
4.
viewing, but
I was thinking 60 was 180. That was my bad.
Yeah.
gold.
So,
necklace.
I guess the next things we have that are jewelry is going to be that bead, the gold chain.
Oh, did we close that sale? Is that done?
I heard 2
Do
people
we
say
accept
yes.
65?
No, he had said 70,
Yeah, I said
and I
he'd
was good with
go.
70.
Yeah, he'd go.
Well,
as,
he offered
as far as
70.
70.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
By the way, I am literally looking all these things up. There is a giant
That's why
table of
that's why I'm
jewelry.
trying to do it one at a time for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Let's
Like,
just do
not
the
just me-
gold chain next, because that's probably going to be super simple.
Gold chain.
And then, William, while he's doing that, can you identify that gold ring?
Oh yeah, I have something in my inventory. Gold band, 2 of
It's
them.
entirely possible that it was a gold chain necklace or a
That's what
bracelet
I-
of some kind. And I just didn't write it down.
So I have 2 gold bands in my inventory.
Mhm.
I don't know.
That was from Dark Sun.
What's
Yeah.
You got those off the statue. Remember?
You did.
Oh yeah.
To
It's
be fair,
last-
though, I carried my inventory over.
Sure. Yeah. No. Go ahead. I'm just saying that's where they're from. In case you're wondering.
They're from a land untold in a place far, far away.
But yeah, Will, everything's been successfully identified at this point, so everything that is magic is known.
We just literally had a ring that was called Unidentified Gold Ring from an occultist.
Oh well, no, that should have just been gold ring.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it got identified at the time, but then not fully written down. It's possible. You never know.
So that's what we've got left is a gold chain, a gold ring, and a small black bead.
What about the gems?
Oh, yeah, the gems. Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm secretly trying to hold on to those for my hoard, but thanks for reminding me.
Says gold. So this chain make a nice bracelet. Could be a necklace for a gnome. Maybe a choker for a halfling. Yeah, I'll give you 130.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Sounds good.
Deal.
Love you too.
For the purposes of the remainder of these sales, I will say, as long as the captain and first officer agree, I'll go with the. Yeah.
Jiff, you have so make sure if you or Will have any qualms, you
Yeah.
speak up.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to assume you're going with the flow.
Yeah, that's the good thing about having a command
Higher-
structure of some sort. Yeah.
Yeah. William, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
So what about these gold bands? I wonder how much. They were pretty big, right? They were like.
They were like
wrapped around-
armbands.
Didn't we cut them into like quarters?
Yeah, we did.
Like you have like 2 pieces of gold band. I think
Yeah.
that-
So you probably have basically it'd be like a certain number of ounces of gold.
Yeah. So I have 2 of those pieces.
Okay, so that was
How about a gold ring? Apparently non-magical gold ring.
I imagine that those would probably quarters of that band we probably have the equivalent of 3 rings of gold. Where Jiff has 2 rings of gold basically in weight, and then we have the one that we found. I imagine they'd probably all be close to the same amount of weight.
They were pretty big bands, weren't they? They were like about around statues.
yeah, they were around statues. So
Oh, okay. I thought they
If-
were like armbands.
if you
or something.
did quarter them, then they'd be the size of armbands now.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So 2 armbands of gold. Which could be like the equivalent of a big necklace.
Mhm.
Heavily just redistributed.
Or a belt for a halfling at that point, depending on the
Yeah.
arm, depending on the halfling. Offer about 100 a pop for that.
For
For
the ring?
the bands?
Mhm.
His bands? Okay.
Okay.
Are you contributing those to the pool, or are you keeping that to yourself, since it
I'll-
technically is your inventory?
I'll put it to the pool.
I'll sell mine too. I've got one.
So
Um,
300.
I should have one, but I don't think I actually. No, I didn't. I forewent mine
Hmm.
for something else. I don't remember what it was, but that's not a big deal. So yeah,
Alright.
let's do the gold ring. And what do you guys think? I mean, so that iron torch of revealing is technically
Magic.
not a magical item in itself. The incense is what's magic. However,
We
it
should
is
probably-
ornate, and he
we should
is
probably-
very.
I'm
We should
thinking
keep the incense and the torch together, I think. We
Yeah.
got more cones down below.
Yeah. All right.
It says we're a basic gold band. I don't see any jewel on this. I'd say 20 gold.
That's fair.
Sounds good.
Yeah, nervous.
And
because
now
you
we
said
come to the
band.
fun part.
Mhm.
Is there a small section on the table where I could gently empty our pouch of gems?
He goes, "You guys have given me a good amount of business here. I hate to turn people away, but you've been good folk. So I'll tell you, you probably get more of them going to a gem cutter.
That's fair, and I appreciate that.
I'd give you some money for them. They'd probably pay a little bit more.
These gems we have, are they rough cut? Are they not?
I would say they're about half cut, half uncut.
Yeah, they were like probably embedded.
I feel like he's been fairly honest with us. I feel like doing some business with him if he has anything that would benefit us. What is his what?
What are you selling?
What are you
Nothing.
selling?
It sounded sexual. I feel like doing some business with him.
I feel like doing some things and stuff, you know. What's he got on the table?
For those gems, by the way, I want you to roll a. Let's see here.
We have 12.
That's at agates. I know, but I'm just to determine.
You said
'cause
agates and tourmaline and etc.
Well, I'm curious to determine the etc.
Okay.
You have a list of gems.
Yes.
we
He
use
probably does.
We could each do like a roll for the number and then
Does it
we
typically be percentiles?
D12.
okay.
This
How many
particular
of us do
chart
we
is a
have to roll?
D12. So if you want to roll a D12 10 times,
How many
that
of us
will-
Are
are
any
there?
of them sunstones?
Who's rolling this?
How about we all do it?
whoever wants to do it.
Let's see, there's 4 of us, so let's all roll 2, and then Aso and me will roll 3 instead.
Roll. Want to do 2d12 or just
1d12. You could do 2d12.
1d12.
That'd be
Well,
fine.
yeah, 2d12. That's fine. It'll still show up the number that was rolled, so I can use that on the table to determine.
Well, we got lots of 12s.
Ooh,
I hope
If only
that's
that was
good.
damage.
I hope that's diamonds.
Okay. That's a lot of 12s.
That is a lot of
We
12s.
rolled
1,
really
2,
well
3, 4,
collectively.
5. You got 5 pieces of tourmaline. I'm sorry, 6
Okay.
total. So 6 tourmaline.
6 tourmaline.
Tourmaline. No, because I have a lizard named Tourmaline.
Did you say you have a lizard, or you're going to have a lizard named Tourmaline?
I have a lizard. It's right outside my room.
That's awesome.
Leopard gecko.
That's cool.
Uh,
So 6 tourmaline.
Hmm. Let's see.
Do you want me to read off the
Pearl?
numbers to you so you can just look at the chat
No,
chart?
No, so you have a pearl, 2 pieces
Okay.
of coral, and a amethyst. Deep purple
And then-
amethyst.
Okay.
what?
A deep purple amethyst.
I put that, but it just didn't
That's-
take it.
That's 10 out of the 12 gems that we've got.
Well, we already had an agate and tourmaline.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So,
So
no.
because we added 5 tourmaline to what we already had, which put us at 6, plus the agate, and then we got the pearl, the 2
Mm.
coral, and the purple amethyst.
Okay.
I
We got
got
it
it.
broken up.
Okay.
6 tourmaline gems. We already
Well-
had 1 plus 5. The
Oh,
12s
gotcha.
were
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yep.
So no sunstones or peridot?
Nope.
Damn it.
So what kind of wares does he have? Is it pretty miscellaneous?
Yeah, there's a lot of household things, a lot of pots, a lot of pans, a lot of little knives, chef's knives. There's a couple of swords and spears back there. There's a rusted great sword. There's a lockbox with a glass top showing a bunch of fine jewelry and rings, necklaces, things like that.
Does he have any lockboxes for sale?
How much for a complete cooking set?
Does he have any
Actually,
sashimi
that's-
knives?
Really not a bad idea to get some cooking stuff.
Welcome to D&D.
I mean, the cooking stuff, does that come with the boat if we steal it? I mean, one would assume.
Probably, I imagine it has a galley. Yeah, you got a point. I like to think that we're having this conversation right in front of the guy.
Yeah. Sorry, you're what now?
He goes, he says, "You best not be talking about that Sora out there."
Oh no.
Says, "Listen, I ain't gonna say anything, but the people who own that boat, they are not nice folks."
What could you tell me about the people who own that boat?
There's some sort of mercenary company out of out the east,
Are they generally well liked around here?
out of a place whose name I've suddenly forgotten, even though I made this damn world.
This damn world.
So no, they kind of come in and boss people around. Nobody likes them. The gangs have tried to raid them a few times, but they're well armed and well armored.
Fantastic.
We have
What would happen if people were to, let's say, get them out of town?
No,
It was-
what we're talking about doing would actually be stranding them in town.
As well, you know, drive them out of town. People, I'm sure some people would appreciate it, but you got to understand the gangs are not exactly giving folks. I'm sorry,
That's fine.
they don't like to be called gangs. The syndicates are not
That's
exactly
fine.
giving folks.
mafioso.
Where might we find a few seaworthy individuals? Small group.
By the way, the country is Ursia. Ursia to the east. That's what they're talking about.
Erisia.
No. If you want to give me
Sit back down.
give me a if anybody wants to give me a history check, history is intelligence, so Will would have the
Oh,
highest.
that's not me.
History. You know that not too long ago, maybe 3 years ago, no, make it 5. The kingdom was overthrown by a mercenary company, and the general of that company declared himself the new king.
So pretty much he had a coup.
Mm-hmm.
You had a cow?
Why stage a secondary coup?
Both the mercenary company in town and the one that's in control of Ursia are called the Iron Circle.
Circles
hey.
are not very strong shapes.
Speaking of which, we do have a bead that has a quote-unquote magic aura, and we never checked the small black bead with him. But we also have a set of silver chimes he might be interested in.
What I love is that this is the most look-up heavy episode, and while I've got my arm in a damn sling. So,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
no, it's fine. It's just, it's happenstance. It's not anything you want
Well,
to
when
do.
you spend 4 sessions back to back clearing a dungeon,
Yeah.
there is an anticipated unload.
Mm-hmm.
He'll give you 12 for the chimes.
I mean, I really don't want to hear those things jingling on the ship. I'm good with 12.
Sure.
I mean, they're literally a household item.
Hmm.
What the fuck are you doing? Get out of my room.
The real question here is,
What?
we were in a dungeon. Why did they have chimes in a dungeon?
It was ooh shiny, and they collected it.
I'll
Remember,
say
there was
I'll
knolls
only
down
say that they were used in a ritual. That they're part of a
as long as
ritual
we're not
castle.
planning on as long as we're not planning on going back and releasing said devil from his cage.
there. You mean
think
the
we'll be
devil
okay.
that we accepted the blessings of?
Yeah.
Chernobog.
I didn't.
Yeah, I accepted for you. Bit me in the ass.
Are we really ever going to use this great cleaver?
No, I vote we sell it, but I don't think this is the guy to do it too. He doesn't have very good weaponry.
Could we
So-
ask him about what each of the groups specializes in? Since that's what it seemed like they did.
I mean, we have done a fair bit of business with him. We probably have a little bit of rapport with him.
Mm-hmm. So the Reds run most of the trade. You'll see they got most of the tents. They take a little bit off everybody who comes into the square. Blues are on the docks. Greens and yellows, they kind of run the back alleys on the east and west of town. Now, the white sashes, the temple sort of made its own gang to defend itself. And so we just call them white sashes.
Fair.
Rekshak thinks back to the men who took his dock fee. Were they wearing blue sashes?
They were wearing blue sashes. Mhm.
Okay.
It was probably something you wouldn't have noticed at the time. But thinking back, yeah, absolutely.
We do have a drum.
So whatever you do, you stay away from the black sashes.
What are the black sashes?
They don't seem to own any part of the town, but they come out in the night and they just take people.
Ah,
People.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
things,
just
but people.
random people off the street.
They're
Nobody
slaves.
knows where they go. Nobody knows what they want.
Well, I
They're
appreciate
poor
the
people
information.
and cannibals.
is it large groups of people or just?
I don't know, maybe one a night, every other day. At this point,
They're probably slavers, would be my best guess.
Yeah, because it wasn't a large amount. I wouldn't have said slavers, since they usually go for quantity, not quality.
Oh, where might we be able to fetch a fair price for armor?
green and yellow are probably the best for armor. Green controls the west side of town, yellow the east. So
And
it's
Pudge
kind of which
controls
side of
the
town
women.
do you want to piss off?
That's fair.
Sorry.
So the dock with the ship in it is in the east side of town, right?
Well, all the docks are controlled by the blue gang. Blue sashes control all the docks.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to see if I can color this in a little bit.
I was just gonna
perfect.
start doing that.
So I do have a question about this pearl of power.
Mhm.
What is it?
Jo Crystal.
Totally.
I've automatically forgotten which one I said was green and which is yellow. So this is
I think you said
West,
yellow
I
was
think, was
east.
green.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael.
Here,
Red's in the middle.
middle and the south.
It's a dick,
And white just controls the temple.
which is the big square.
The big gray square in the middle there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this part out here is no man's land. It's where the Iron Circle currently is.
Iron Circle.
The
that's-
mercenaries from out of town.
Right.
Mercenaries from out of town currently control that section of town. I know, a lot of gangs, but that's
No, it's fine.
it's a nice round number.
So I vote we let's try to speed up the selling before we start pissing too many people off. Oh, that wasn't directed at you. That was directed at the group. So we've gotten rid of the.
We have a saber.
We do have the bone. We have the dragon bones. I wonder if we could do anything with that, or if we should just hold off on that.
That's probably good for the magic people.
Turn them into marimba mallets.
We do have a drum.
I think the bones and blood would go for the magic people.
Yeah,
whoever the-
I'd say you're probably right. I think William actually wanted to keep the vials of blood.
Uh,
The vials of blood were mine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll take them off my list then.
All right, yeah, let's go to the magic group next. Who did he say was going to have the who's going to be the best for the
Blue.
cutters? Blue
Blue,
with the
I-
gem cutters.
Blue
Yeah,
is the
Poke-
magic.
Yeah.
Blue is magic. Gem cutters. Probably red. Probably the reds.
So let's do that first while we're still dealing with the reds.
Okay. So as for the gems, so the offer right now is like you come to a gem cutter, known behind the counter. He does not make polite small talk, does not introduce himself, but immediately takes this
Eyepiece.
It's sort of just like a big hunk of glass that has been polished into a magnifying glass. It's more of an orb, really,
Right.
and kind of holds it up and looks at each one and tells you that he'll give you for the lot $300.
Based on our 14 roll, does that feel fair?
It seems like that's a little shy. Like maybe 320 or 325 would be the general worth of these things.
I'd say we ask for 325.
Sir, these gems are hard to come by, and I see you're short on a few of these. I would ask no less than 375.
Says these coral are worthless. We have these
I'm
things
gonna
wash up all the
quietly-
damn time.
I'm gonna quietly approach from behind ASO and do just a presence intimidation check.
Well, then surely there's a middle ground we can find. If neither 300 nor 375 are amenable to both parties, what can you offer me?
301.
He says
Yeah.
300.
300 gold and 1 bronze.
William, this is why you're not negotiating.
You're closest without going over.
350.
300.
350.
Says I'm going to say it one more time and then I'm going to call the guards.
How about 330 and you call the guards?
We don't want to fight.
And at that,
You
he
don't wanna
waves
fight.
over the guards.
I
guess
grab the
it's a
pouch
deal.
and take it to another, more reputable vendor.
Such as the other
Or
red
we'll at
sash right
least
down the
haggle.
line.
So probably to the blues we go.
As you're kind of walking away, he says, "This is not an art. It is a science. These gems come out of the earth. They have a fixed value."
And I'll mutter to myself, and annoying little shits go into the earth.
If they have a fixed value, then who sets the value?
Anything and
Yeah.
everything in life is worth only what people are willing to pay.
True that.
And we're willing. He's willing to pay 300.
Yeah, which is why I'm out of here, to find
Yeah.
someone who will pay more.
The next red sash.
At this point, even if it was 310, I'd be like, mostly because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
If you
He
do pass,
could have come up with like 10 gold, and I'd have
And
been
I'd
like
have been
sold,
happy.
man.
Yeah, I'd have been happy.
oh yeah, there's a man who does not believe in haggling. If you do stop by the pawnbroker, he says the best he could do is 250, but that he doesn't get a lot of demand for gems that are not already set in jewelry.
Right, that's fair.
Gems are light and easy
What
to
if
carry.
I were
We could
to
take these to the
invest
next
in a
town.
Go.
There's no reason we need to offload here.
Yeah, you got a good point.
What were you saying, Will?
What if I embed the gems in a skull? Would that count?
Don't forget, this
Could
is
we get-
this is the good guy, or the
Yeah.
pawnbroker who
I'm
likes
not
you.
threatening
let's-
him.
yeah.
I'm being serious.
So let's Let's go ahead and move to the blues.
Can we get a small chest for the gems so we can feel like real pirates?
Yes, you had asked about a strongbox when we were
Yeah, I
interrupted, and he does have a lockbox.
You had mentioned one with a glass top. I definitely don't want a glass top.
No,
I think
that's
that was
for
display case.
yeah, that was his display. But he does have small lockboxes for sale. That would be
All of your gold.
uh,
This is where my gold would go if I had any.
This is where my trophies would go if I had any. What's that from? That's Fairly Odd Parents, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dad.
Yep.
every time I hear that, a little bit more of my brain leaks out of my nose. Just because I hear it a lot. Not saying you're bad for liking it. I just happen to hear it a lot.
Mostly us.
Here we go.
And then I do have another question to ask that I'd asked earlier, but we got distracted. But I'll wait until you're done with this.
Probably 10 gold.
Has she barked? I haven't heard her. Get her.
10 gold's good.
I'm
I'd
sorry.
say.
I think he had to step away there.
Lisa? You're up.
So whatever. Lockbox, how much money?
First mate, 10 gold.
Sold.
I'd say buy like 2 or 3 of them. I'll be right back.
I think we're probably good with one for now.
Okay. In lieu of the captain, the first officer is in charge. But this is a good, like, solid iron lockbox. About the size of, like, a football. The actual interior is nice and, like, lined with satin. Or what have you. Satin or velour or some such material. Clearly meant for storing jewelry.
Sure.
We pour all of our gold and gems out of it.
And what else have we got to take care of? You got magic items and you got assortment.
Does he
Yeah,
have-
magic items and gems, really.
Does he have any healing potions?
He does not. It says the White Sashes, the temple, offers some healing potions.
Okay.
And of course, the blue sash is down by the docks or in the square. In the square is all number of sashed guards and tents. But there are definitely some potion sellers. You can see they have a big, big novelty vials of colored liquid set out in front of their stand.
Is this over by the blues?
Yeah.
How many lock boxes did we get?
One.
Just one?
Yeah.
But we need one for gems and one for gold.
We put
Nah,
it
you gotta
together
mix
so it looks nicer.
The real effect.
Yeah, we're pirates, not bankers.
It's a football. It's the size of a football. If you got one the size of ASO, I'd be content.
It's okay. We'll exchange it for platinum.
We're pirates, not bankers.
You ever seen what $1,000 look like?
I've held $1,000 in my hand.
There's a line in some movie. I'll be damned if I can remember it. But opens up a suit. Oh no, it's from Dodgeball. Opens up a suitcase and it's just a small stack of $100 bills. Anyway,
That's a good movie.
I enjoy it, despite usually not liking that style of comedy.
Does he have any sashimi knives?
What's that?
Sashimi knives. I'll type it. It's a hard word to pronounce.
Sashimi is not practiced in this fantasy world. In this fantasy medieval Britain.
ASO, or excuse me. Yeah, ASO. When you had said we should keep the torch and cones together, were you saying to sell or we should hold on to them?
No, just to sell them as a set.
Okay.
You can certainly hold on to them. It is a torture or a lamp of true seeing.
What is a Oh, true seeing. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was like revealing, as in like identifying and stuff like that.
No, we'll show things that are invisible or otherwise hidden.
That can be useful.
See-through illusions
I have
and
a
things like that.
permanent one, so we're good.
Oh,
I
that's
made
right.
one-
Yeah,
Oof.
that's yeah.
Honestly,
No.
we should probably hang on to that.
When Will leveled up, their character gets a new free magic item.
and I built that
Mhm.
with infinite uses.
So basically,
Congratulations, everyone.
yeah, on the boat ride, on the week-long boat ride, created a lantern of revealing.
And he doesn't need incense.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I vote we sell it.
Yeah. Like, wow, this is pretty trash now, huh?
Right.
Like we were saving this for later, and it's like,
Remedy just saw it and they said, I could do better.
I could do better.
anything you can do, I can do better.
Great.
Okay, so let's get to selling.
Yep,
Okay.
I agree. We're gonna
I
probably start
also
pissing some
built
people
myself
off
an
by
arm.
jumping. Because it was the blues that we were specifically told not to go to by the Reds, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
does a bra need incense cones?
Why are we all of a sudden talking about the Bloods and the Crips?
Why'd you have to bring that into it?
I do a pretty good crypt dance. It'll be all right.
Oh God.
One of my favorite hip hop lines is from Vince Staples when he says, "My mama was a Christian crip walking on blue waters," which is just
Good
great.
Lord.
Anyway, yeah. We get the joke. We all heard it. We all got it. It just wasn't funny.
Chose to ignore it.
We can, like I said, we can continue doing this now, or if you want to do something else and come back, or
I
What have
vote
you?
we just get most of it done now. Because
Sure.
I don't think we have a whole lot more we're going to sell. Maybe the armor, the weapons, and then these magical
Hmm.
items.
Wand of Fear.
so what would you like to sell next?
Iron Torch revealing with three cones.
Okay.
3 instances.
So the blue stands, you find one that is kind of blue and white striped, or blue and gold striped, excuse me. And inside is a wizened old woman with wearing the sort of conical hat, but it's drooped way down, and robes all knitted with arcane sigils. She says, "You seek aid from the arcane?"
No. We
Quite
seek
the
that from
opposite.
your coin
We
purse.
seek to aid the arcane by supplying goods.
that.
I don't know if I can give you the best prices. We do get ships through here every day bringing in new items. But I'll try to give you fair prices.
Fair enough.
Revealing. Uncommon item. God, I'm gonna have to screenshot this table just for myself to remember how much.
We also have a random bead that says magic aura, but it doesn't say what the magic aura is.
It was a magic that was greater than could be identified by
Oh,
Remedy.
that's right.
So lantern revealing, we're talking about probably 150 for the lot.
I'm good with that. I mean, it's quite literally something that's useless to us at this point, Aesop.
Trying to figure out any other spots where I've got cones written on this sheet. We got a couple extra that we got down below, so it's probably what, like 5 instead of 3.
Oh, Oh yeah. You're right.
But what was the offer?
150.
Well, the iron torch is ornate, right? I'm assuming it's gem encrusted or something of that type.
No, it's ornately carved, but it is not gem encrusted. It's still iron.
Still just iron. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
The one that was
if you
gem-encrusted
want-
was the Black Scepter.
Yeah, if you want, give me a Arcana roll, Remedy.
Oh, remedy. Okay.
Mhm.
Arcana.
Yeah, you could get, you could get double that in a wizard city. In a city that has a nice big wizard tower, you could get double that money.
Do I know where one of those is?
Oh, that's got to be like about a month's journey up coast.
Now
Look at
that
that.
poses the question: do we want to hold off and set course for the Wizard City, which would be badass?
I don't think we have a ton of need for money right now. I mean, we've
Yeah, I
made
think
enough
we're
off of
good.
our other sales that I think that it's worth hanging on to if we can get a better price later.
I hear that Wizard City has a really big bridge and some albums in the
But-
basement.
That in itself tells me enough that I don't necessarily want to do business with her anymore.
Give me an insight roll. Ein.
Ooh.
Ein. You can tell that that's she's genuinely offering the best she can.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is not a high magic area. Or I should say it's a high volume area. So it's like stuff is constantly coming in and out so she can sell things on the cheap.
Mm-hmm. So she'd be more interested in something like the. Well, I don't think we have anything that's just lightly magical, except for like a scroll of message or a potion of flying. But I feel like those would be more useful for us. Speaking of which,
Mhm.
what is that pearl of power?
So a pearl of power.
The Geo Crystal.
Yes, that joke was made last time too, and then we got distracted.
You can use an action to speak this pearl's command word and regain one expended spell slot of up to 3rd level.
Oh, we should keep that for
Yeah, I agree.
Once it's used, it cannot be used again until the next dawn.
Wait, is there still magic in this one?
Yeah. Up to 3rd level, huh?
Mhm.
That's good. I just got 3rd level spells.
Yeah.
And you can use it once a day?
Let's
Yep. Mm-hmm.
let's hawk off let's hawk off the half plate, the saber, and the great cleaver, and be done with this, and the short sword.
Should we keep the Great Cleaver for a chef?
Ow.
Or does anyone need a +1 short sword? Like, does anyone have a bonus to their?
Not anymore.
The moment I can find a merchant, I can make myself my +1 weapon.
I have
Why
it.
don't you? You're the other melee combatant. Why don't you take that +1? Because I don't need it.
Friar, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
If I take 2 +1 weapons to the merchant, can I fuse them together to a +2?
I'm afraid not.
Fusion.
John!
So yeah, let's hawk off the half
What?
plate, the great cleaver, and the saber.
I would imagine if you had 10 +1 weapons, you could make a +2, but yeah. Not just
Why
2.
10?
The metric system.
Fair answer.
No, I don't know the actual number, but you get a certain number. Like, if you add it up, you get a certain number of +1 weapons over the course before you get a +2. So.
Yeah. +2 actually costs quite a bit more than a +1.
Mm-hmm.
So you said yellow and green were probably the best places to sell the weapons and armor.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah, you're talking about like going from an uncommon to a rare. Yeah, that goes from 500 GP to 5,000.
So yeah, literally 10 to 1, and that's if
Mhm.
you get 1 for 1 cost.
You should keep that wand of fear because for your intimidation.
What?
Intimidation.
I-
Wand of
Why
fear.
would I? You think I can use a wand of fear? The only thing you want to know what my wand of fear is? It's a piece of wood that I pick up off the ground and threaten to shove up your ass.
There for a second,
That's
I
a barbarian's
sworn you
wand
were
of
going to say
fear.
your dick, and I was very frightened.
No,
That's a different barking fee.
but yeah, I don't have anything else I'm personally wanting to sell other than the armor and weapons we're not going to use.
Okay.
So it'd be 3 more things, and that way we can move on.
Did we sell that small black bead?
Small what?
Black
No, we didn't
bead.
sell it. We still have it.
No, it's that one. I think was basically a used something. It has no
Used
more
ammo.
power in it anymore.
Did we charge it? Is that the JO crystal?
What could we fetch for the saber at the
Let's
yellow?
see. Weapons. Weapons.
I'd say probably the saber and the great cleaver go to the same person.
They'll offer you 12 for it.
For the saber,
Mm-hmm.
they're not that expensive to begin with, so
Yeah.
I'm good
You'd
with
figure they'd probably turn around and sell it for 25.
it. Mhm.
How about 15?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy. 12 it is.
Yeah, let him have the 12 on this one. I actually want to
Okay.
do the persuasion on the great cleaver because that's something that they're not likely to have a lot of.
Mhm.
What's he going to offer for the great cleaver?
Give you 30 for it.
Surely you don't get these very often. There's not many people that are capable of finding these.
So there's not very many people capable of wielding it either.
Nope, but that just makes the value of it much higher. Do 40.
I gotta be able to sell this, man.
Problem is finding a buyer. I'll tell you what. 35.
I'm good with that.
Sure.
All right, 35.
And then the last thing would be the armor. It's half plate.
This has been
Bartering.
2 hours of bartering. Yes.
Yeah, but we're down to the last piece now.
No, I thought we were done, so that's always my little ta-da.
Oh no, it's actually only been 1 hour.
Okay.
Hour and a half maybe. We're bartering about how long it's been.
Mhm.
I'll give you
I'll
3
15
hours.
minutes. So that was half plate.
Yes,
That half plate came off of
a knoll.
like a dire knoll, right?
Yeah, it would still be humanoid. It would still be
A
humanoid.
Knoll Death Knight. Yeah.
Okay.
It's still medium size. He was just buff as hell
Hmm.
and half magical.
And high on cocaine.
And then split in two.
So I'll give you 300 for it.
I feel like that's fair. That's about a third of what it costs. Unless you want to try to persuade him, Meso.
No.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do 300 and move on.
Alrighty.
We're not exactly hurting for money right now.
How much do we have
1,500 almost.
in gold?
Mm-hmm.
1,400 gold and 2 platinum.
Start converting that into platinum.
No.
Yeah, there are
gotta
definitely
go
money
bank for
changers in
that.
the city.
I'm not
If you want to,
I'm not an alchemist.
yeah, if you want to convert anything, there's money changers in the city.
So,
They charge a
I think-
10% surcharge.
Oh, the brazier as well.
What's
huh?
that?
We said the brazier yet?
The brazier? No. No, I don't think so.
I don't see why we'd want to sell it.
Oh, okay.
Braziers are fantastic for lighting arrows on fire and stuff like that.
And a brazier in which a brazier in which you burn things is spelled with a Z.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I honestly didn't know that's what you were talking about.
Oh, you actually thought it was like a bra or something?
Well,
A brazier.
Yeah. A
So,
brazier, not a
brazier.
brazier.
I think we are best. I think our best opportunity here is to be in and out of this town quickly, which means we should probably hit the.
Wait, have we given up the concept of stealing that ship?
Oh, we're doing that.
No, we may or may not have discussed that in front of someone. I vote we probably hit a tavern, fill up, maybe get a little bit of extra food. Nothing major, just stuff we can carry.
We're gonna
And
run
see
into
if we
the
can find a
mercenaries.
couple. See if we can find a couple of dirty hands.
Mine are dirty.
Um, hmm. Give me. Just give me a d20 roll.
All of us?
One person. Anybody.
Asa.
sure. Hold on.
Give us the luck. Give us the luck of your initiatives. 2 up. That's 3.
Shit.
So the nearest tavern you find is the Dirty Ass. It's literally a donkey. It is a
Okay.
donkey covered in mud, drawn on the standard outside.
Low standard.
Yeah.
Their standards are low, and so are their standards are low, and so are mine.
But
I believe that's their catchphrase.
You should work for Budweiser.
Do they give
So-
health insurance, and do they pay more than minimum wage?
Probably not.
no, they get a lot of free beer.
Dilly.
Dilly. So yeah, let's
Only
just head in
fucking
there. I
Actually, if
imagine
I drink it, it
Aso
works
and
for me.
William, or Aso and Rex Shack and Remedy probably be the best two to go to try to acquire individuals. Aso because you're the treasurer, and William because you have one of the highest charisma scores. And me and Rakti could probably handle getting a cask of ale and some non-perishables, salted pork, stuff like that.
I will try to help you with my small shoulders.
I just am getting the feeling with this many angry parties that are angry at each other and looking for people to let out their steam on that we don't want to be here long, particularly overnight.
Oh God, messages.
Oh, you're good. That's already been addressed.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm
Sorry about that. I have
already
too many
undressed.
screens open at once here. Stream and book and all this. Anyway,
It's not like we're asking you for prices on literally everything in the game right now. No.
Right.
I'd like the prices of these 3 kingdoms.
yes.
How much do monkeys cost?
How much
Quick,
could I sell
how do I
Rocky
wipe my
for?
ass?
So remember, we're looking for probably 5 people.
Put your feelers out.
So since you're the captain, I'm going to have you make a charisma check.
Okay.
Not a saving throw, just a straight up charisma check.
Oh, fuck. Can I Benny that?
That's wonderful. It's wonderfully bad.
I hit my head on the door frame coming through.
I wish my superiority dice counted here. I haven't used them yet, like ever.
Good lord.
So as you come in, you accidentally stick your foot directly into the spittoon.
Ah.
And it just stays there, and you walk in like
No,
pretending not
I
to
would
notice.
peel that shit off. I would. That just makes me physically ill. To think
Okay,
about.
you try to peel it off, but your foot's too big.
Oh.
So you're just walking through the room with a squelchy thunk.
That's so gross. I'm literally cringing right now, hardcore.
You think someone
We
pooped
can
in
hear
it at
it.
some point?
Ugh.
A monkey is 50 gold.
Like the history equivalent of taking a swig from a spit bottle.
Oh, fuck that.
How much for a corgi?
We're not gonna just sit here and ask him random questions
25.
about prices.
So,
25?
Aso,
Okay,
Yeah, let's go
give me
20.
a corgi.
Aso,
Can
do
we
you
have
think-
You know,
the-
in British lore, fairies are the ones who ride corgis into battle,
It's
right?
true. It is true. So can we
Yeah,
have
Welsh.
someone else do a charisma roll since I'm occupied by the spittoon?
I'm
Because they don't
I'm gonna
know that I'm
say-
the captain.
going to say that the first officer can make a charisma save to avoid
That's
being
actually
associated
really good.
with all that.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast bless on myself.
Oh, now you cast bless.
Trust me, I'm gonna need it.
Literally
no
just
idea.
hanging your
20,
head
I'm gonna
going,
be pissed.
Thor, help me.
Where are the saving throws on here?
They're
Is it
right next to
poss-
dexterity.
Yeah, next
Is
to your
it
attributes.
possible to get a critical with a negative modifier?
And then
Yeah.
what's your bonus from bless? A D4? So an 18 save.
What?
Can you
Did
see
I actually
her?
roll, or did you just put a 1 because I put a plus on the front by accident?
No, I saw.
you-
There's a one there.
It said no. It
Wait,
literally
cover the
just
wall.
added a 1.
Oh, you did plus
Oh,
one
yeah.
before.
Try that again.
No matter how many times you rolled a 1 anyways, but
That's a lot of ones.
oh my god. So
Yeah, you don't need
got an
plus.
18. That's not bad.
What are you
So-
rolling for that 24?
That's his bonus for bless.
Oh, it doesn't look like it's rolling right. I don't see.
No,
any-
when he
Well,
does
yeah.
when you put the plus in front of it, it doesn't, which is what I was demonstrating, and then everyone else was rolling ones.
All right, so after all those ones, you find 4 people who are interested. I would say 2 of them have previous experience on ships. The other 2 are willing to take practically any position to get them the hell out of this town.
I understand.
Do they understand the plan, though?
Uh,
Yeah, I hope they don't. They're just
no, not yet.
like, okay, we'll have
That
them
would
be in a
help.
rowboat. We have them in a rowboat and say, okay, we'll have the ship here at this time. Just come out with it.
Yeah, we'll have them man our vessel, our small vessel. Have them man that one and meet us out somewhere.
Okay.
That'd be the easiest way to do it. Make sure they know we're leaving within the next couple hours.
I'm just imagining it's like, hey, if we steal this boat they gave us, we could be pirates.
Right?
Just consulting my name lists.
This
Okay,
is Bam
um,
Yeager and Bob.
No, so I'll make NPC things for them later
At a future date.
when my arm is working again.
That's fine.
But for now, the names are Micah, Kinvern, Rowan, and Almund.
Almond?
Similar. Almund. Which is Saxon for Defender of the Temple. Um,
What's
Sorry.
Saxon for drop the base?
I have no idea. Don't care either. So, those are the 4 you've been able to recruit. I would say it's about 2 Rowan and Almond are willing to take 2 silver. But Micah and Kenvern both want at least 4.
Are they the 2 that are experienced?
Yes. Mhm.
So we're actually looking at, instead of 30, we're actually looking at
Now, you could choose not to go with them if you want, but they are the ones you've been able to find so far.
Should we hit another tavern and try it out? Aso? I vote. I think we probably should just get the cheapest labor right now.
Oh, so we can get rid of them in the next town
I mean, that's
if
true.
they don't work out.
So you say try it out, and if they don't work out, tell them, look, you're either taking the 2 silver or you're getting off my boat.
Yep.
All right, I'm good with that.
So that will be 12 silver for now.
I would say we probably should pay them a week's worth rather than because you're not going to go
yeah.
day to day, are we?
You're going to pay a sailor a week's worth of his pay while he's at dock?
Oh, good point.
You probably like give them a starting pay and then you pay the rest as you dock in.
Good point. Good point. I was just trying to make math simple for us. But there I go again, thinking.
Also, just be warned, because my arm is kind of laid up, there might be more Theater of the Mind combat tonight than
fine.
map combat.
That's fine.
Okay.
That is this.
So
All
yeah,
right.
I'd
Mhm.
say have them, as soon as they're finished with their meals, have them go to the boat and meet us up shore somewhere.
And at least one of them, Kenvern, is asking for his pay up front, or half his pay up front.
Half of what?
I'll say just a week's pay.
Do an insight roll, someone.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
That's about 14 silver.
And
So he wants 14 silver.
can I back that up?
He's worried that
He'll die before he can use it.
you're going to screw him over. He's worried that he's going to sign up, he's going to work the boat, and then not get paid.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he's just
especially in
about
this
saying
town.
as much. He's very open about.
I'll give him the money.
Yeah. And with that, he's more than happy.
Make sure he's the one in command of the boat, the small boat for now.
To quote George Carlin, what does that even mean?
What's that?
More than happy. Sounds like a person, that has a mental disorder. Well, he's more than happy.
He's a joke.
Just a figure of speech.
He's elated. Elated is more than happy. Euphoric is more than happy too.
So, can you guys think of anything?
Elation is stored in the balls.
You're gonna have
What?
to say that again, Dylan. You're getting a little quiet for me. Is it quiet for anybody else?
I had my mic a
Ah.
little away from my voice.
Oh, now it's loud.
Can you guys think of anything else we need to do immediately?
I'm gonna
Health
change some
potions.
money.
Health
Change
potion.
your money. Okay.
Change some money.
Bill?
I'm gonna change money so that I've got at least 200 of each coin.
We actually do have a cure light wounds, and William can create health potions. We don't really need to be spending money on that.
Yeah.
It's
By the way,
expensive.
when you change money, there is a 10% fee.
Oh, God,
Yeah, I would
Mhm.
not change money.
well,
You kinda-
1,415 gold
Yeah.
is
Better.
141.5 pounds. So unless you want to carry this around,
Wait, what?
isn't it?
Why are we going to British here?
Let's see. I have it here.
You do realize we're
Copper,
carrying it in my bag of holding, right?
silver.
Yeah, now it's going into a chest
50
because we're pirates.
50 gold pieces equals 1 pound of gold.
Oh, it's 50 to 1, not 10 to 1.
And you're right,
So-
he does have a bag of holding, so there's that too.
Does the chest fit inside the bag holding? Because it needs to be inside the chest.
And I will say you negotiated to pay them in silver. So
That's good.
not that you can't pay
so
them in
we're-
gold, it just gets uneven.
Yeah, we probably do need to get some things exchanged, so we're gonna have to do that anyways.
I have 2 silver.
So do you want to do that, and I'll go scope out the boat?
Fantasy economics.
Rockdy, why don't you come with me? We'll go scope out the boat, see what we can see. Rex Shack, Stick, and Remedy, go handle the gold and the payment, and then meet us there in an hour or so.
Oakley dokley, Captain.
Aso, William?
Aye, aye,
So what now?
Captain.
Sounds good.
I haven't been told to like
Say
roll
what?
anything
Sounds
yet.
good.
Aye, sure.
No, I was just.
I
I don't care about the aye and all that shit. I was just making sure you heard me.
Aye, aye, Captain.
yeah, sure, gladly.
Wonderful. What are we doing?
Do I actually need to say it again?
I've already forgotten with all this.
All right.
We're going to
Me-
steal a ship.
Me and Rockdy are going to go scout out
Uh-huh.
the boat.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Rex Shack and Remedy are going to go handle the gold exchange.
The biggest
and
one
get
is the smallest
sailors
one.
paid, and then meet us near the docks in an hour.
We look
Alright.
like a pair of comedians. The big one and the small one.
I am not sticking my hand up your ass to make you talk. And you are definitely not sticking your hand up my ass to make me talk.
That would actually be really good.
No.
What is, I mean,
And like
pretty little.
comment, like just switching that around would be really good on stage.
Switching.
Moving on. So go ahead and
Moving
have
along very fast.
both Ein and Rockdy give me perception checks, as well as stealth checks.
Okay.
Man, I'm good at
First-
both of those things.
Okay, stealth.
Hmm. So you notice there's about only about half dozen, only about 6 armed men on the boat at any given time. There's usually an additional 2 standing guard on the dock, and another, let's say, 4 moving in and out. Like they will come to the ship, drop off something, and leave.
So
there's
on all, roughly a dozen men at most.
yeah, in the area at any given time. You notice it's not the same dozen men. You suspect that they might have as many as 30 or 40 somewhere in the town.
Right.
They are all armed with chainmail. They have sort of, I think the word is hauberk, the linen that's thrown over a chainmail. Yes.
Halberd.
Yeah, that's red with a symbol of a black chain in a circle. And they
I don't
all seem
think
to be armed with swords, a few of them with crossbows.
Okay.
Okay. 2 attacks each per turn.
One of the 2 guards out on the end of the dock notice that there is a very large winged dragon man peering at their boat, and comes up.
I imagine I'm not particularly hiding this fact.
Mhm.
If I'm approached, I already kind of know what I'm going to say.
Yeah, he approaches kind of with, like, pushes his sword slightly out of its sheath with his thumb, so that the steel is shining. Walks up and says, "Keep moving."
I don't have to keep moving, my friend.
Nothing for you
You're
here.
rather presumptuous there with that cold steel.
There's nothing here for you to steal, lizard man.
You think I've come to steal? I'm
All
sorry.
your
I was
people do.
informed that you folk were capable of combat, and I was looking for a new adventure. I see that I was mistaken, and that you're nothing but a bunch of whiners.
Said, I know you're here to steal because that's all your people do.
I believe you're referring to the chromatics.
Wow.
Wow!
Jeez.
I'm
There
actually
will be-
going to stand at my full height and say I'd recommend that you keep your assumptions to yourself.
Ooh, he did it.
You stood up.
Let's see him beat that.
His voice falters a bit when he says, I could have 12 men here. One shot.
And you would need every single one of them.
To scratch his toe.
Now tell me, are you looking for hands or not?
We've got no use for non-humans.
I see.
See, we found the Nazi.
Can we stab him?
Well, technically, I don't want to get this started before the hour is up. So, can I see, since I know where Rockdy is, can I see that he's in a position where he can watch comfortably?
Yeah, he's kind of blended into the crowd a little bit, but you, knowing where he is, you can just spot him immediately.
Right.
Doesn't look like anybody else is paying him any mind.
I'll reach forward and put a hand on the gentleman's shoulder and say, if you change your mind or you need an ass whooping, come find me. And I'll turn around and walk off.
The dock.
And by that time, Rockdy, you see that at least 3 other people have kind of run up and talked to the man who just confronted Ein. So you can't quite hear what they're saying, but they all look like they're nodding back and forth to each other.
They're definitely agreeing on me being an asshole.
Do you stay and keep watch, or do you head back with Ein?
Rockdy.
Yeah.
I'm muted. I'll stay and keep watch. I got good stuff.
Okay, so you notice that they reinforced the guard. It looks like there are now 4 people on the dock and 8 people on the ship. With the
Plus
same
a couple coming and going.
Yeah, plus the same 4 coming and going.
Good job, you big oaf.
It's not my fault. It's hard to hide 8.5 feet of dragon.
You were openly staring.
He was being presumptuous and racist.
You were being sizist.
Save versus racism.
Would that be a charisma save or a wisdom save?
Little from column A, little from column B.
Constitution save if you fail.
Constitution of the U.S. is the holy
I'll
text.
probably just kind of wander relatively
What?
nearby.
Are you having a stroke, Jeff?
I'll just kind of wander relatively nearby with the intent of regrouping with everyone at the end of the hour, like
Okay.
planned.
Okay.
Like that.
And as you two are changing money, a man decked out in white woolen robes that have been clearly bleached white or dyed white, and a sort of red hauberk over that, with a laurel of leaves on his head, comes up and taps you both on the shoulder.
Hello. What can I do for you, sir?
Says, "Greetings, brother. Whom do you serve?"
Did I ever pick a deity?
I thought you said Thor.
Ah, that's right. I reflexively turn the lapel of my coat sort of out, which bears the badge, and tell him
Mjolnir.
that I serve Thor.
Official cop of Thor. To serve and protect.
All right.
And turns to Remedy
He
and
serves
says,
Thor. He's a lawyer.
and turns to Remedy and says, "And you, sister?"
Me?
So that is correct. Who do you
I serve
serve?
Belgium.
Ah, then I have found the right pair. Njord has sent me a vision
Pyramid scheme.
To seek you two out. I have seen in my dream a great serpent rise from the sea.
That was just me after taking a bath.
He was
There are two
sleepwalking.
great serpents in that.
And swallowing up the great city on the coast of Eastrun.
It was just 2 apples.
Do I know which city he's referring to?
That
His
is
penis.
wrong with you people. That is Eastwatch.
Okay.
It is the capital and is also the single biggest city on the coast of Eastrun. So he's probably talking about Eastwatch. They're very inventive in Eastrun. Eastwatch. Anywho, says, and I saw 4 golden spears stabbed into the serpent. On them were engraved your names. I saw each spear become a being, and then back to spear, flying toward the heavens, piercing them, causing a rain of blood.
Have you guys given him your names?
Not yet. What names did they say?
So they said, Remedy, the arcane servant. They said,
What did he say?
Rekshak, an unusual name, but one that I know burned into my brain.
Check. The dubstep.
And there was 2 an Iron, and there was 2 a Rokti.
Hmm.
You must not go to the city on the coast.
We're on the city on the coast.
You're not there. Says you must not go, for there will be a terrible battle, and I do not know if you will survive. But I know if you
The
go
serpent.
there, you will summon the very serpent.
The serpent, did it bear any marks?
It had runes engraven upon its flesh and its head, bleeding fire.
Well,
I
lizard
could
can
not
breathe
make
acid.
them out. But someone spoke, and the serpent turned its head and answered, a figure clad in red.
Look and behold, a white horse, and the name it said on was Death, and Hal followed with him.
No, none of that. And that is all that I saw. This vision came to me a fortnight hence and has been burned into my mind.
Fortnite?
I'm afraid to say anything with this group. I could say any
word.
word. I could say shoehorn, and this group would turn it into a meme, I swear. Anywho. Go on.
Just shoehorning memes into it.
Oh, God.
Well, Rekshak asks if he means the image of the serpent or the image of the runes.
For which?
Seared into his memory.
Oh, he's the whole vision is what he's trying to
okay.
say.
Very well. I appreciate your efforts to seek us out and share this with us.
Says, I wish I could do more.
You've
Money's
done all
always
you
good.
can, and that's more than enough. Thank you, sir.
And when Remedy says it, says, I have not money, none to spare. It all goes to the temple, but if you ever need sanctuary, come here to this temple and I will offer it to you.
Thank
I reach into the pouch, and I pull the man's hand towards me,
Mhm.
facing it upwards, and place 5 gold in his hand and say, "We thank you and your church's efforts."
Who made this man treasurer again?
Get yourself something nice.
You.
We will put this toward the maintenance of the temple. It is much appreciated.
Well, that's
Since I do-
spooky.
We should buy a monkey.
I
Exactly.
turn to Remedy. I say, you know anything about this serpent? I mean, does that mean anything to you?
Just so I know,
Huh?
are we aware of the actual mythology? Like, because
It'd
the
probably be a
story of
religion
Ragnarok
roll.
was passed on before Ragnarok happened.
This does not conform to the story of Ragnarok. I would say you'd need a religion roll to know anything more specific, but you know that Ragnarok doesn't involve like specifically a serpent going after Eastern. You know, it speaks of the gods doing battle, but it doesn't mention, as far as I know, it doesn't mention a sea serpent attacking a coastal city. It involves a great serpent, sure, but not specifically attacking a coastal city.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, I proceed to get my money chain.
I'll also say that you know that the city of Eastwatch is where there is a wizard requesting armed men to help him fight off basically assassination attempts from disloyal knights.
Nice.
That was on
Well-
the job board in that little city of I think it was Mistwood, where you first came out of the dungeon.
First we were spears, and then we weren't spears, and then we were spears again.
And the second
were
time,
spears.
hurtling toward the heavens.
I'm pretty sure this guy just had a wild peyote night.
Yeah, but he knew our names.
You don't understand how powerful peyote is.
Will we get any bonuses for me spending the rest of the hour and stuff watching the boat?
You might.
Hey, Friar.
Mhm.
Have I found that forge yet?
No, but it doesn't take too long to find that. It will to basically combine the effects of the spears, of the Templar spear and the +1. Is that what you're looking to do?
That and have them work into something I can use one-handed.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can use the spear one-handed right now.
Yes, I was going to have them turn into a dagger. That way it'd be much more effective.
That will be more expensive. You could
How?
combine
You
the spear.
literally just cut the shaft off.
Yeah, but you have to do that without destroying the enchantment. Is the problem?
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Magic like to like with the two different spears is one thing, but turning a magic spear into a magic dagger requires more residuum.
Well, you said that I could do I can help with the magic part, just not the forging of the magic part.
How much do boats
Okay,
cost?
yeah. Hold on, let me resolve this first.
What about boats?
Hold on, let me resolve this first. So it'll cost, with you helping out with the enchantment and doing some of the labor, cost about 200 to get that made into a dagger.
Hey, Clan Coffer, you've been passing out money left and right. Can I have 200?
Clan coffer.
For what now?
He wants to become a melee
I'm
combatant.
buying wars.
taking two different spears, combining them, and turning them into a dagger.
I mean, can we wait to talk it over as a group first?
We'll do that now.
I don't know why you would be more focused on trying to get into melee combat. Is my question, William.
I'm not, but it's nice to have an easier to carry compact weapon. Combat weapon.
Mm-hmm. Don't you just have a dagger?
No.
We can give you one. We can just
I
give you
would
another
say
dagger.
actually turning a spearhead into a handheld weapon would probably be more of a short sword.
Jesus Christ!
Well,
What
let
kind
me-
of
let me
spears
ask
are
you
you
this.
looking at?
Boar spears.
The functional difference between a spear and a dagger is, or a short sword, is that one is two-handed versus one is one-handed, right? Do
Well-
you have a need for the offhand during melee combat?
He doesn't have a second hand.
Oh, that's right.
Way to be inconsiderate.
I forgot about
And
that.
he can use that. It's a short spear to begin with, so he can use it one-handed.
Ah, that's right. It's versatile.
If you want a dagger, I have a spare.
I am already carrying 2 spears. I am not in need of a third weapon.
That's what I'm talking about, Dylan.
Okay, if you combine the spears and then just keep them as a spear.
What's what you're talking about?
Discord image.
I'm looking at Discord.
Is it not loaded?
I don't see
I
anything.
don't see it either.
Oh, I put it in the wrong Discord.
Good for you, Friar.
Put it in the
Did I
Star
just-
Trek Discord. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's about the
The
size
bow.
of a
A long
Gladius.
dagger.
I'd say it's about the size of a gladius if you just turn the wood into a grip.
Yeah.
I mean,
If I combine 3 plus 3 spears, do I make the Gaborge?
I don't know what that is.
A mythological spear called the Belly Spear. It killed everything it touched in the most painful way.
In that case, no.
It must be hard to
Yeah.
wield.
at the risk of seeming like a min-maxer,
Mhm.
I mean, functionally speaking, your one-handed short spear is the same damage class as a short sword, right?
I think so.
So in theory, I mean, if you just turned these things into another spear instead of turning them into a different type of weapon,
The only difference is that he'd be paying the extra gold to get a quote unquote slashing attack as opposed
Yeah,
to
that's
just
true.
a piercing attack. However, I don't know how beneficial that would be. I don't know that that's beneficial enough to justify the extra 150 or whatever the difference would be.
Mhm. It'd be
If it was
100 gold
if-
less.
I mean,
You know,
it's
I
like-
have 200 of my own gold. I will just use that.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Is if it was your own gold, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, all I'm saying is that the only mechanical difference that I, as the DM, would concern myself with is you could hide a short sword better if you wanted to look like you're not armed. But other than that,
He's
they
already
work
got a
pretty much the
He's already
same.
got a hand up on that.
well, he's one hand down, not a hand up.
Depends on where he's holding it.
So, which do you want?
I'm gonna pay 200 of my own gold to get it.
Okay. So that'll be a +1 short sword that does extra damage to magic
Dagger.
users.
Where do you get so much gold?
If you go with a dagger, they're going to be whittling away metal, and it's not going to be as effective. A dagger is like I think a D4.
Yeah, it's a lower damage class.
If you go with the short sword, you keep the same damage.
You know, now that I have 2 attacks per turn, I can do the 2 dagger slash. I have
Well,
2 daggers.
only your offhand has to be light, right? Is that still true?
I have no
So you
idea.
could do like you do a short sword in one hand and a dagger in
Yes.
the other. Jeff.
Oh yeah, I guess I do.
Speaking of which, we do still have a +1 short sword that I recommended that
Yeah.
Aso take, but I don't think he ever did.
It's worse than my Warhammer, which I use one-handed anyway.
Oh, okay.
I have a short sword.
Is it a +1 short sword?
It is not.
It is now.
So, so like I said, Will, if you go with short sword, it'll be the same damage. So is that what you want to do, or do you want to go dagger?
The fact that we talked about this earlier, now it's being changed around.
I don't
Let's just go
know.
with the.
I was not aware you were turning it into a dagger. I thought you were turning it into a spear that had the qualities of both. That was my understanding.
Where does the +1 go?
Now, like I said, I was apparently wrong, but that was my understanding when I told you what I did. So, like I said, do you want the 1d4 with those properties, or do you want a 1d6 with those properties?
I mean, I'm already going down damage class, by the way,
How?
because the spear is 1d6 plus 2 for one, and 1d6 plus 1 for the other.
Well, 1d6 plus 2, 2 magic casters.
The 1d6 plus 2 is for the plus 1.
That you got to remember that spear used to be mine. It's literally just a +1. It's literally just a spear unless it's against magic casters, in which case it does bonus damage.
Yeah, the damage should just be +1 unless you're adding in your own natural stuff,
Yes.
which would give you bonuses. So you would get the same bonuses in one spear or short sword or dagger. Just choose the form of the destroyer and keep all the numbers.
A pizza, then?
Like a chakram.
I mean, a chakram would be helpful, but I would have. I could make multiple chakrams then.
No,
Do
but
you have
seriously, you gotta
exotic
pick.
weapon
You
proficiency?
gotta pick something because we're getting too hung up on
I have
this.
said 3 times.
William, chill out.
All right, dagger. So 1d4 plus 1 that does extra damage to those who cast spells.
Yes.
Okay.
Moving on.
Uh huh. So you all meet up, like I said, 2 hours later.
Well, that means they're an hour late.
All right, 1 hour later. I thought it was 2.
Hello. Let me tell you
Hello?
of this crazy vision that a man shared with me who knew our
But
name.
first, these guys are racist.
And yet somehow I don't feel absolved of the guilt that I'll have for stealing their ship anyway. But yeah, super racist.
So you know that the boat is guarded because Jeff stuck around, or Rockdy stuck around and scoped out the boat. That it is now more heavily guarded. So about a dozen folks, as many as 16, depending on exactly when you go. I would say you notice the number of people going in and out has died down as the night went on. You know that they are armed and armored.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that there are more in the town waiting. So what's your plan?
I have an idea, but we'd have to pull off some stealth checks to pull it off.
I'm listening.
Me and William can fly.
I have
So,
3.
If we get in the air, or at least get nearby where we can get onto the ship quickly, Rock, do you have the highest stealth? Yeah,
3. I don't know.
I believe you do. If Rockty can cut the mooring, or if Rekshak can cut the mooring and Rockty can sneak onto the ship and weigh anchor, and then we attack, we'll be ready to go immediately.
Won't we have to replace the anchor at that point?
No, weigh anchor means to raise the anchor.
I think it'd be mooring at this point, which is just rope. You guys got plenty of rope.
We always got.
No, you anchor on the dock.
We got miles of rope.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I would say just cut the, like I said, cut the tethers, and then if it had an anchor, dropped to weigh the anchor.
Idea.
Mhm.
And actually, it probably doesn't matter any. It's
What's
just a
up?
little edit thing where we cut it mostly, but leave it like we're just like a thread, so it doesn't look like it's been cut from their end. But it doesn't really matter in the end.
Does anyone else have any ideas?
I mean, you're going to be lucky to cut this without being seen because we're talking about a thick rope. Rope as thick as your arm, because this is holding up a fairly large ship, mooring it to the dock.
Yeah.
Alternatively,
Mhm.
we could have both of you sneak onto the boat and have me and William ready to get on if shit happens. Like I said, kind of nearby, but we can fly.
What's your dex? So
And then literally cut the ropes on the deck.
Same as yours, for the record, 16.
okay,
Mine's also 16.
so we all have the same stealth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to also say we're going to go a little past 9 tonight because
Yeah.
we started late. If that's all right with everybody.
Okay.
That's fine by me.
Okay.
Just getting into it.
After 2 hours of shopping.
I mean, is there any way we can draw the majority of the crew off the boat?
Yes,
Firecrackers.
me.
Yeah, him.
And then I can fly. And I have fast movement. So I will be distraction. Good call, first mate.
Is it possible to flashback to get some of those colored liquids and bottles from whoever? So he can drop them as he flies.
I'm afraid by this time of night, most of the stalls are shut up or completely taken down and moved.
Is it presumable that during the time I said I'd be wandering around that I would have procured some alcohol? Not
Sure.
a lot, but enough to have a mug in my hand and walk up to them as if I was drunk.
Sure, absolutely.
All right. So
Yeah,
we're good
you
with that.
guys
I'll
are-
be the distraction. You guys sneak on the boat.
Yeah. I'm fine
Works
with
for
that.
me.
All right.
What about our
We'll do
crew?
that. So I'll kind of walk to the edge of the dock, or near the edge of the dock, and call
Jeff
that
brought
son of a
up
bitch
a-
out if he's still there.
Jeff brought up a good point there.
What did he say?
The crew.
Yeah, they were going to be meeting us elsewhere.
Oh,
Yeah, they were going to take our original boat and meet us out somewhere.
Now, do you think they guard against the seaside?
Probably not.
Because,
I mean, there's still going to be people on the boat,
but
but
yeah,
they're probably mostly watching towards the town.
yeah. And if we took, like, I wonder if they would notice our boat just coming up to the backside of theirs.
Probably.
Yeah.
So should I roll anything to be distraction?
Yeah,
Performance.
I've lost track of what I was.
Is it performance?
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking up something real quick. Real quick, bear with me.
Rawr, I'm a bear with you.
Well,
Rocks fall from the sky. Ein dies.
yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't know there were so many of me.
Rocks die.
Yeah. Rocks. Die! Anyway. So, space 49. Go ahead and give me a performance check.
Fuck.
How drunk can you
Not
be?
bad.
You think you're a fuck? I have a -1. I had to perform. I'd have a paper in front of me I would be reading from. Like, I am drunk. You guys are racist?
And are you just like, giving them the finger, yelling at them, or are you?
I'm yelling at him.
Okay.
If you'd like, I could roll an intimidation check as well, but I don't think I'm really trying to be.
No,
intimidating
and
at this
it
point.
doesn't take much to get that original guard
Mhm.
to move away from the others and step up again with the thumb on the sword and come and says, "Move along, you overgrown newt."
I will reach out and push him. Like just a thump on the chest kind of thing.
And with that, an
Who are you
older
calling a newt?
guard will come up and say, "Put away your
Off the
sword,
same
boy."
dock.
Yeah. He says, "Put away your sword, boy. We're going to have ourselves some fun." And he cracks his knuckles.
On his scales.
I'll finish my drink and toss it over my shoulder and says, "This is my kind of party. You gonna bring any friends?"
Suddenly, he's not drunk.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't think it'll take more than 2 of us.
Their bare hands.
Should I roll initiative? No, I'm gonna let them swing first.
Go ahead and roll for when they're going to, actually get into it.
Oh, so go ahead and roll initiative.
Mhm.
And
Don't
then
worry
just
about the
let them
token.
go first.
Just roll the number.
Oh, hang on. I clicked. Why is it not? Oh, fuck. I'm
There
letting
it
them
is.
go first, like I said.
Yeah.
All according to plan.
What's the plan?
Technically, I need
Let
to
them
roll
try to hit me.
twice. Okay. Oh,
So which one was the old guy?
old one is 17, and you can
so he
tell
goes
he is heavily scarred. It looks like he's damn near lost one of his eyes.
He's about to.
Yeah, and he just comes up and launches a sucker punch directly into your stomach.
I hope it breaks his hand.
I'm waiting for that one.
Oh,
Ooh, damn.
What?
All right,
Did I type that?
he's
No,
fought
yeah,
dragons
17.
before.
that'll
Yeah.
hit.
And
Fortunately, it's an unarmed attack, so it's
yeah, so it just
tiny,
does 1
tiny
damage. It just
Oh,
does
this
1
is gonna
damage.
be great.
All right, and the second one comes up and tries to punch you in the face.
These guys are fools.
But you would just Muhammad Ali duck back, just
Right.
move your head a little and allow it to run past
So-
you.
I am not going to use my claws because they're unarmed at the moment.
Mhm.
I am going to use both of my attacks though, but it's going to be one. This is just fluff. I'm just going
Sure.
to spin and slap both of them with my tail, my
All
6.5 foot long tail.
Breaks their knees. That's.
Yeah, that's gonna hit both of them. He's right down there. You see, yeah. So it smacks both of them. And you're skilled with unarmed, aren't you? With your own, with
Yes.
your own weapons.
Well, I have Tavern Brawler. I'm technically trained with just about everything.
True of it. Natural weapons, I think you're automatically proficient
Yes.
with. One of them, you see blood.
Fun fact:
spray out of the
whenever
corner of your eye.
whenever I hit a creature with an unarmed strike or improvised weapon, I can use a bonus action to attempt to grapple.
With your
Okay.
tail?
So I will do that. I will grapple the young one.
The young one is also the one you kind of see as you turn around. You split his lip and took out a tooth, and just blood has sprayed onto the nearby wall.
Yeah, I'll grapple him. What would that be? Strength?
Mm-hmm. Strength or athletics.
Ooh,
But
not very good. Oh, said strength or
prove it.
athletics?
Yeah.
Shit, I would have rolled athletics. Oh well.
What's your bonus to athletics?
7. So it's comparable.
Okay, so it's the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can actually see that from my house.
My athletics check?
No, the fire trucks.
It's my tail may be thick and powerful, but it is not very flexible, so I can't really grab
Not
it.
very dexterous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is easily kind of just shimmies out. He's a thin young man.
He's
and,
probably still cupping
yeah.
his face.
mhm.
It's like the blind luck. He just dodges it without knowing.
Yeah. I
And the
knocked
old-
him out of the way of the grapple.
Yeah, the old guy definitely has a split lip, and he says, "Come on, boys!" And the 2 other guards come after you and enter into initiative.
Just 2, huh?
Oh, don't worry.
That's
Just give
all
me another
4
round
of
or
the
two.
of the dock guards.
Give me
I'll
a couple more rounds, guys.
I'll say at this point, if you want to try to intimidate,
Yes. I will let out a draconic bellow. Or a mew. Whatever.
oh. So
I like
you've
this.
gathered all the attention of the people on the ship, but they have not yet stepped off the ship. They're on the prow, kind of watching the fight.
Just give me a couple more turns, guys.
All right.
You should probably aim for the veteran, so they'll.
Yeah.
know your-
Probably not a bad idea. Of course.
Ooh.
All right, second one hits me.
All right, and that's only going to be 5 damage. The second one looks like he was more skilled.
Mhm.
Actually, this would be the 3rd guy who walked up. He's either more skilled or he's got brass knuckles. You're not sure which. But it definitely hurts more when he punches you. That
Don't you know they're called belt buckles in this town?
All right, those 2 will hit me as well.
Oh,
and those 2 are just 1 hit point because they're just punching.
That's fine.
Only one of them seems to be either skilled or, again, carrying some sort of brass knuckles. But yeah,
Bonus action.
Okay.
So it's my turn, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm going berserk.
All right.
Mm. That'll
With
distract
this,
me.
I'll allow you a new intimidation check as well. Since
Okay.
we're going berserk. You're going into your barbarian rage.
It beats their old. Yeah.
All right, and with that, you can see the people on the prow of the ship kind of look nervously at each other and then begin filing out of the boat onto the dock.
I'm going to uppercut the brass knuckle asshole and the veteran.
Okay.
With both
Oh.
fists at the same time.
I did the wrong thing.
yeah.
I accidentally clicked breath weapon. They're right next to each
Yeah,
other.
go ahead and. Whew.
I imagine you do this at the exact same time.
And those
with both
are
hands.
I do bonus damage. I do 2 bonus damage to that, so it's 12. To
Who is
both.
the second attack? You said the brass knuckle and
I said brass knuckle and the veteran. The older
the
guy.
veteran. Veteran goes down, just bleeding from the head, just unconscious. Brass knuckle guy, he is not looking good. You have like the natural sort of spines on your tail have opened up a piece of his armor.
No, that was
and
my
he's bleeding.
fists.
Oh, they're your fists. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I uppercutted them both.
Then, yeah, that's definitely you've knocked some teeth together and they've shattered. And
So I now have all of their attention, correct?
Oh yeah, now they're all starting to surround you.
Good. Oh, I could have done bonus damage, but what I'm actually going to do is with my berserk, I'm actually going to add my elemental as earth,
Mhm.
giving me
Unmoving.
additional damage reduction.
Nice. While all this is happening, I want everyone else to make a stealth check
Oh boy.
to
If
see if they're
I'm
noticed
flying,
by
do
the
I have
crowd.
to?
Yes, but everyone gets advantage because they're so focused on all this happening.
So everyone technically rolls 2.
Uh huh.
Yay! Wait,
Nice.
holy crap! I got
Yay.
I'm a fantastic distraction.
Oh yeah.
2 20s in a row.
That's pretty badass.
Hey, so. Oh no, you did. Who am I missing? I'm
Me.
not missing. Yeah, I'm missing.
No, it's me.
I'm missing Dylan. That's what. That's my problem.
Oh,
Is
do
that-
I?
It's like for 5
Can
players.
can I finally take a card? No.
No, not for stealth, I'm afraid. You're going to need a combat for that. But yeah, everyone. I'll roll
for
just in
me.
case.
Except for me.
Yeah.
Hey,
What do you
I
mean?
didn't-
You rolled a 21.
I didn't get the crit though.
Yeah, you did.
No,
It's green.
but, yeah.
Oh no. Okay, yeah.
Didn't get the crit,
I was
but
looking at
still.
these.
Everyone, yeah, easily able to sneak around.
Oh God. Oh, that hurts.
Are you
Oh,
just
sorry, I didn't
watching?
mean to hit you. I meant to hit them.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, how many are there total now? There's -1.
About 15.
Okay, but there can only be 6 around me at any point in time. Wait, no, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
8,
around me at any
yeah.
point in time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got you surrounded in every corner.
That's good.
And there's a few on the side, sort of cheering on, occasionally trying to get a poke in with a reach weapon.
Oh, so they're actually drawing blades
It looks like
because that's going to
Two
change
of
how I
them-
fight.
3 of them, have oars and are poking you in the head with them,
Oh, okay.
or
Yeah, I
trying
can't-
to anyway.
I can't, in good conscience, draw an axe on that.
Yeah, they're not using bladed weapons. They're not trying to kill you. They're trying to teach you a lesson.
I'm teaching them some lessons.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll have another round of this.
Oh, hey,
Is there a
you're back.
way? Is there a way to roll with a plus multiple times? Like, can you do a ×8? Will that work in the
What do you
formula?
mean?
Like, could I roll 1d20 plus 4 8 times? Is there a simple formula
No.
for that? Okay. All right.
Sorry.
I'll
1, 2, 3.
probably make a macro for
Oh,
it.
that's a
4.
crit.
Ooh. So I'm basically going to give
I'll keep track of them.
4, and then it becomes your turn.
Okay. So
Since they rolled
do the crit
poorly.
first.
Yep. Critical hit for GMs. And this is
What does
dominoes.
this say? Do another creature.
Ooh. Give me an athletics check.
And I am
Good
berserk,
luck.
so it's still at a plus.
You are not knocked prone.
How many?
No, it says the loser is knocked prone.
Oh, yes. So one of them tries to like tackle you down, and you just throw him to the ground.
But I'll still take the damage from the hit. So that's 3
Mm-hmm.
hits.
All right. And
Was one
that
of those
is-
knuckle duster?
Yeah, it looks at this point most of them have started like either wrapping their fists or putting on
They're
brass
using.
knuckles.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to take 3 damage from each hit.
All right. So I reduce that damage by 1d4
Mhm.
and then take half.
Oh, wow.
That's my earth stance, is the minus 1d4.
So go ahead and roll your.
Should I do it per attack or just once for all?
I'm going to
three?
say it once because it's kind of part of a stance. So basically, this is. Yeah.
Most of them aren't
So
damage.
technically that would reduce it to 0, but I don't think I can reduce it past 1.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So
So I'll
you
just take
1
3 points of
damage.
damage.
Yeah. Yep.
And then now it's my turn.
Mm-hmm. And then they'll get 4 more attack.
2 of them are going down.
Critical.
So
Probably should remove this card.
Yeah.
yeah, could you remove that one? And then I'm going to.
There's somebody. What the hell? I can't. Oh,
We can.
Numlock was on. There we go.
So can I just for flavor? Can I say the one that tried to tackle me is the one that I crit on?
Sure.
His head's at the right height.
Crushed hand, quadruple
Ooh.
damage, and he loses the use of one of his arms or hands. So he took 40 points of damage.
Yeah.
43.
You
No, because the
killed
plus
him.
3 is the normal crit. I
Yeah,
killed
40
him.
plus 3.
Yeah, that is enough.
with non-lethal damage.
That is enough to outright kill him because that is within the range for instant kill, instant death.
Guys, I think they may be mad at me after that.
Yeah,
one.
so that is you got in the ring. He got in the ring with a heavyweight champion and got his skull smashed in.
Yeah, like he fell down. His head was at the right height for the tail.
Yeah, that's the kind of critical that people die in boxing matches too, right there. That is seriously what has
Yeah.
happened.
Congratulations, Boom Boom Mancini.
I'm gonna make
I
a
guess that was
line
Boom
of
Boom
cooking.
Kim we just went up against.
After this fight, I'm opening up a line of cooking equipment. All right,
And
let's go.
with that, they all take a step back. They all take a nice 5-foot step back. What's that? What was that, Will?
Did Boom Boom Mancini actually open up a line of cooking equipment afterwards?
No, George Foreman
Yeah,
did.
that's what he was going for.
Oh, and for
Oh,
the
and George-
record,
Mhm.
so don't forget that we've still got people getting on the ship and stuff. Like, don't
Oh,
forget
yeah, no,
the other
definitely.
half of the party.
Yeah, this is still within their
10
turn,
seconds.
so they'll
Right,
get 4
yeah.
more attacks, and then the other players will go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
Don't wait for me, guys. Remember, I can fly.
But with that, on their turn, instead of attacking, everybody backs the fuck up
Holy shit!
and draws
He's
their
dead.
weapons.
Oh, yes.
And draw their blades.
Oh, I was ready for this.
I hope that's in character.
And so now it is everybody else's turn while you're on the boat.
On the boat, we
So-
do our stuff.
Yeah, in order to get this boat out, you're going to have to release the mooring lines.
I'm going to use the bathroom while they're doing that. Be right back.
You're going to have to weigh anchor. And you're going to have to either paddle it or hope that the breeze is against you and to get it out of dock.
I can cut the
Well, which
mooring
way is
lines.
the breeze going?
Right now it's a crosswind. So, doesn't help you, doesn't hurt you.
I can cut the mooring line. I'm small.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll on that.
Let's see. What should I use? I'll use this.
No, unfortunately, it just, like, you smack it and you do take a chunk out of it, but this is a thick line. You're not able to.
On the
To cut
bright
through
side,
it.
we're going to have a reputation after this.
Yeah.
We are the pirates. You have to shout our name afterwards, and you have to come up with it at the same time.
I have to come up with it. Fuck.
As you leave, you just have to.
Oh, have I ever told anyone what Eindrecken's thread actually means?
I think at the very beginning, but
Yeah.
It
One
means
dragon.
one dragon war.
Yeah, that.
I still call you not in Soldaten.
You're that.
What is that?
Bone soldier.
Bone soldier? I mean, that's kind of fair.
Dylan, you're that one British guy from World War II who had the bagpipes, the sword.
Yes. I know exactly who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
It starts with a. I'm right fucking there.
Uh-huh.
okay. So, unfortunately, you've tried and failed to cut the mooring line. So,
Jack Churchill.
Yeah, Jack Churchill. Awesome name too.
so Aso and Will, what does Remedy and Rekshak want to do?
I'm gonna go attempt to untie the mooring lines and roll it back on the boat.
Okay, give me a athletics check.
Hey, I'm trained in that.
Ooh.
Yep, you
But
untangle those and just set it free.
I'd give you a dirty look.
It's like when you bust through a window to find out the door was unlocked.
Well, if we successfully steal this thing, chances are we're gonna want to dock it somewhere eventually.
I thought
It's just rope.
Yeah, but
It's just rope.
we've already discussed, we have a shitload of rope.
True.
All right, Remedy
I'm
now.
gonna go.
Hmm?
I'm gonna go try and raise anchor.
Okay, that's another athletics check. Yeah.
Wait, since we have 2 attacks per round now, can we go help him for our
You
second
have
attack?
2 attacks per round. Not everybody has 2 attacks per round.
Can I go help him with the thing since I have that 2
It's
attacks?
attacks and actions are 2 very different things.
Yeah.
It was an attack roll.
Technically, 2 attacks is an action. If you have 2 attacks.
It just means you're
Yeah, they just-
skilled enough
Anyway,
to make 2 strikes.
but yeah, you're able to, like, it takes a bit. You're having to push hard against this, I think it's the Dunsel. Isn't that right? The thing
I
that
don't know, but...
you push to raise the anchor up in the middle of the ship. Big round thing.
the wheelie thing.
Yeah.
What did you call it?
A Dunsel. Isn't it a Dunsel?
Let's look it up.
I don't know.
Moving on.
Dunsel.
You push hard against the counterweight and are able to pull up the anchor.
Dunsel was a term used by midshipmen in the 23rd century to describe a part which served no useful purpose.
That's from Star Trek.
Yeah,
It's a windlass.
Windlass. Okay.
yeah. It's only in Star Trek.
Really? I thought that was an actual term.
I,
Way to
Seriously?
show your nerd.
Yeah, seriously. I know
Uh,
Stunsel is.
Dude,
Maybe I'm
also a
getting
song.
confused with Stunsel. Stunsel's a real thing.
Dunsel. Let's look that up.
I swear to God.
No, Dunsel's a real word. It's a captain with no authority.
Anywho. Yeah, you're able to pull that up, and now it's just a matter of trying to get it out of the harbor, which you'll have to try next time around. Now, 4 of the soldiers will approach and attack.
Okay. Three hits.
This time doing 6 damage.
-3 each.
-2 is 4. Divided by 2 is 2. So what was that? 6 damage apiece?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I take 6 points of damage.
Just for the purposes of this mass combat,
Right.
And then
Right, so I'm at
you get a turn.
56.
They're absolutely shocked to see their swords aren't making a dent on your scaled skin.
I'm laughing and drawing my axe. I'm so happy right now. I'm a bad person, but I'm a
It
good
would-
barbarian.
It would leave a greater impression if you defeated them without any weapons.
You know, you've got a really good point, and they don't have a big dice pool. Fuck it. I'm going to keep rolling. You've challenged me now.
and now, time for completely and utterly batshit crazy shit.
Mind you, I've still got all my weaponry perfectly visible on my back. I'm just beating the tar out of them.
You started this fight. You're not getting out of it.
I
that
will
kill-
call them on that shit. They'll be like, "Oh, what's the matter? You couldn't stick up in the ring."
I thought it was 2 people.
So that takes out one of them.
Okay.
Basically the original brass knuckle guy is now unconscious. And of course, as people
He may have brass knuckles, but I've got bronze knuckles.
people who have been knocked out or killed are being dragged away, and more people are coming in, so you're still surrounded. Which means I should have been made those attacks flanking, but here we are. But you're gonna get 4 more attacks this time. They are with advantage because they're flanking.
Okay.
So
Would that just wipe out his... whatever.
there'll be basically 6 rolls.
How do you figure 6?
I'm sorry, 8 rolls.
Okay.
So there's 1. Okay, never mind. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
3 hits.
Wait. 1, 2, 3.
I'm keeping track of it. Don't worry.
Can't deal with those lines.
2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 hits.
All right. Each were 6 damage. Reduced. Woo.
So I take 3 points of damage.
All right.
That's hilarious.
That's the earthen stance. I don't do a whole lot of damage when I'm in earth stance, but I take almost nothing.
Says the guy who's taken out a guy every turn so far.
Yeah.
I have big fists, okay?
And I cannot lie.
Right.
So now it is the rest of the party's turn, and you got to find out a way to get this thing out of the harbor. Like I said, you can try to row, or you can, I don't know if you have wind magic or something.
I don't have wind magic, so I'll start rowing.
Let me check my magic.
But go ahead and give me an athletics check, Jeff.
Okay, athletics. I am good at that.
The ship pretty
Not
much
very good.
runs on the athletic ability of its seamen.
Loading disc.
Floating disc is
I'm-
not wind.
No, I need to read what it said,
Yeah.
and that's the only way I can bring
Oh,
it up.
okay.
Yep, that's fine. It wouldn't work with something this big.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Can I try to pretty much perform this as a ritual to produce a bunch of the discs to try and move the ship? Not like pick it
No.
up, like push it.
Unfortunately, you can only ever have one at a time. If you cast it again, the first one disappears and and a new one appears.
Hence the whole ritual thing.
No, even as a ritual. Ritual is just keeps the spell slot from being taken up. And also a ritual is like 15 minutes, I think.
I could just take a 20 on it then.
If you do that, we might as well wait for Ryan.
You have a better chance of going up near the mast and flapping your wings really hard.
No, I'm saying like we're in combat right now, so everything is like 3 seconds. So 15 minutes would be
And it'll be done
105 rounds, 150?
turns.
Yeah.
150.
And he'll be done with them, and he'll be on the ship rowing.
Yeah.
Let's just
You'll
row.
be giving me a massage.
Okay. Then go ahead and give me an athletics check.
You know, I
All
kind of
up?
feel bad because he may have been stereotyping, but we were technically stealing something.
Sure. And
20.
ASO, unless you have... Good. ASO, unless you have wind magic.
What's the extent? I mean, it's a GM ruling.
Mhm.
Thaumaturgy.
No, it's only enough to snuff out a candle, I think is the description. It's a cool breeze. It's not enough to move a ship.
I don't know. A cool breeze with a.
A very large canvas.
I'll roll the athletics. Hold on.
It's like, think of it more like a burst of canned air.
Or a fart.
What far?
Hey, I
Okay.
didn't do the worst.
No, nobody failed. 3 successes before 5 failures, or 5 successes before 2 failures, or something like that. Anyway, it's you think you got if you do this well again, you've probably got it. It's starting to move free of the dock, but you've not quite passed that long pier.
Hope they don't notice.
So it's one more round of attacks against Johan.
Mm-hmm.
Did we raise the thing connecting the boat to the not like the mooring, but the plank or whatever?
Yeah. I'm going to do that to separate them.
not strong
Thank
to
you.
stop a float. It's just a plank of wood.
For the record, I super definitely have magic that can assist here, but if I use it, everybody's gonna know. So,
The whole town.
Don't worry about it.
yeah. Something tells me casting Thunderwave to try and steal a boat while nobody notices is not quite the right plan.
One attack that hits.
Just one? Oh, wow. Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah,
First
6
one,
damage.
right? You mean
Uh-huh. Yeah.
One
Technically, I
damage.
think you're only supposed to roll that once, but we'll figure that out next
No,
round.
it is. It's. I will read it to you.
Okay.
It
But no, I mean, we can...
says-
Yeah.
Until the beginning of your next turn, you cannot move or be moved, and you reduce all non-magical bludgeoning, piercing.
Yeah,
and
but
slashing damage taken by
I'm
1d4.
thinking like one roll. I think what you should do is one roll,
Well,
and
what
that'll
we've
until
what
your
we've
next
been
turn.
doing. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's kind of what we've been doing. I
Yeah,
think we've
it's
been
just-
doing one per
yeah.
group of attacks.
Plus, we're doing mass combat, so it's
That's fine.
don't
Okay,
worry
I'll
about it
just
now.
I'll do one at the end of my turn, and
Yeah.
we'll just have that be towards it.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
so
just a
I
note
took
for the
mine.
future. We don't have to worry about that right now. But
I took mine.
All right, now it's your turn.
Okay. I am going to.
You see the boat begin to pull away.
Okay. I'm going to keep swinging.
All right.
Another
Oh yeah!
Oh jeez, that's 2 cards.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Now you're gonna fail for the rest of the campaign. But
Let's see him. Ooh.
okay. which
Double
one is it?
damage, so that's 20 on the first one,
Bashed nose. And
drop it. Double damage, and they make a DC 12 strength or dex save, or they drop whatever they're holding. So
I have a question.
can they survive 20 to the face,
Uh,
or do they
No.
stay conscious? I mean,
no, they get knocked
Okay.
right the fuck out. Go ahead, Will.
I was gonna ask. You said double damage twice. Does that mean double damage and then another set of double damages?
2 different attacks,
Yeah, both
Okay.
the first and,
and then
second
I'll go
are
ahead and
double.
roll my 1d4.
They only have 16 hit points.
So I'll be taking 3 reduced damage until my next turn.
All right. Whew.
Can I do another intimidation check?
Sure. Yeah.
what's it gonna do?
22.
Make him more scared? You want to keep him distracted, not scare him away.
Oh.
Great.
They
They're gonna need
turn and run.
Into the town?
Yeah.
great.
Fantastic.
They
I go to the
begin
boat.
running into the town. All right. And with that, combat is over. You.
Can I quickly loot the one that I killed?
Sure.
Yeah, I only
There's
outright
actually-
killed one, right?
Yeah, but you knocked out, I think, 4 total. So there's like
Okay.
5 people laying on the ground. One of them alive, or one of them dead. 4 of them alive.
I'm just quickly looting.
As they walk on the boat, we start plotting.
Roll a d100.
You are right. You are right. It was more satisfying defeating them unarmed.
Roll a d100 for me. Okay,
Already
there you
working
go.
on it.
And that's why you're the captain.
Go ahead and roll that. If you want to check all of them,
Yeah, what
you
was it, 5 of
probably
them?
could. Yeah. So, yeah. Go ahead and.
Holy cow. You could probably pay our guys with that.
First one is 17 copper in a money pouch, as well as a longsword, and that's probably all you could get off them. It's a longsword. Second one, 14 silver.
14 silver.
Uh-huh. Third one, another 14 silver. Fifth one, 10 gold. I'm sorry,
Ooh.
that's fourth one. Sorry, fourth one, 10 gold, and the last one. Shit. 10
I don't want to
electrum.
take feces.
10 electrum.
What is that?
It's half silver, half gold.
Oh. Thought we weren't using that.
We aren't, but if you want to do a quick conversion to gold,
Or like 15 silver?
uh,
Or no, it'd be. I don't even know what the value.
one
of
electrum is equal to 2 gold.
Oh, so it'd be.
No,
20
I'm
gold.
sorry. What?
2 electrum.
2
1
electrum is equal to 1 gold. Sorry.
Yeah.
Looking
So
at the
5
chart
gold.
wrong. Jeez. I hate electrum. Electrum is dumb.
Why would they do that? Like, you got this awesome metric system of gold, and hey, what about electric?
Right. So yeah, I'll take the wheel.
Yeah, everybody. now
First
that-
thing, actually, I'm going to hoist the colors.
Like,
I have the flag.
I know I remember.
I've had that flag this whole fucking time. I'm
All the way
hoisting the
from
goddamn
Darkzone.
colors.
like if the U.S. added a coin that was 7 cents.
Jesus Christ, you're right.
And
The USS Quinine is now on sale.
$2 bill.
Yeah.
So the flag you take down is a red flag with the black chain circle.
Drag it behind us.
I say just light
Burn
it
it.
on fire and drop it into the bay.
And by the time you kind of like are able to back up and start to push out, going this direction, I assume.
Yeah, towards our meeting point.
Wherever that
Yeah.
is.
So as you head east, you can see by that time there is a large number of people with torches gathering on that pier.
I just want to point out that that's north.
I'll wave and I'll say, sometimes stereotypes are correct.
Because east,
You,
east,
uh,
east on this map is north on the world map. Since the
okay.
coast was facing west.
Yeah, okay. No, you're right. It's kind of north and northeast, but yeah. Slightly diagonal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anywho. I get what you're saying, but you dodge a quick, like a little arrow that just barely makes it out that far and doesn't have any energy left. You can hear it clatter in the water just off the other side of the ship.
Mhm. All right, boys, let's go pick up the rest of the crew. Hey, on the bright side, we made more than we paid them. Quite a bit more than we paid them.
You all haven't even found out what's on the ship.
That's
but,
true.
You're going to find out next time.
Right.
That's fine with me. That was good.
So can we just assume that we've picked up the crew and drop it there?
Yeah, I mean, you guys meet up, and that's probably the point where we'll stop. Where
Level up?
we'll stop. Can't
Well,
talk
he'll
tonight.
level up.
No, it was a group effort.
Well, we get XP
All right.
for failing to cut a rope.
So, yeah.
You get XP for eating popcorn and watching the fight.
So I'm gonna say goodnight to the stream. We
Good
had
night, stream.
4 people at one point. We had 3 people practically the whole way through.
Then we chat.
No, nobody chatted. That's all right. Lurkers are appreciated. So thanks everybody for coming out. We do this. Try to do this every Saturday, and I hope you'll join
Thanks for
us
hanging
next
out.
time.
You know,
Bye.
if you,
Bye.
if you get enough followers that you could get affiliate off of this.
Maybe.